They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still in the songs with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what? What is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side floor. Just like a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever. Cute as could be, you can watch it on YouTube with viewing for free. Ay, this one time for the Twitch, this one time for the text, this one time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Everybody, Tobin and Leroy here with you. 5, 6, WQ. Everybody, Put cup your ears here for a second, Frog Boy. You hear that?
Yeah, I think I
You hear that?
think...
You hear that? I think if you hear from Canada, the wind. That is a Game 5 beatdown, and you can hear the squeak from the cheeks all the way from the Great White North. Wow! Put it on them. 6-1, truly 6-0. 6-1 Panthers.
Yeah.
Taking Game 5 in their barn, humiliating, embarrassing, rub their noses in it, ass kicking. That was something beautiful yesterday by the Cats, ladies and gentlemen. A true throttling at the hands of your champion, Florida Panthers. You wanted us. You got us, Toronto. Leroy. That was a dude.
Hey,
What
but
a beatdown.
you know what's amazing? This could have happened in Game 4, but their goalie was unbelievable.
Yep. Matter of time, ladies and gentlemen.
That's why he's the backup.
Yeah, and you know what? He's played good. It's not his. Is it his fault? Because that's going to be their coping mechanism. Is they're going to be like,
Well, you know where to go. You go. You say, wait. You just say the things. You know what they're going to say. They would say exactly what you would say if Bob was out.
no, you know me, dude. Credit where credit's due. That's me. Nah, they call me the credit man.
Okay, credit man. Yeah. Well,
Josh Wool, I honestly, I genuinely felt bad for him because I thought his team played with zero life.
Yep.
Zero life in that game. Had nothing for him. And then even when they did, who was there to shut the door? You guessed it. B-O-B. Bob. Amazing. This guy, what a legend. And I like to refer to yesterday as the gentleman shutout because he basically is like, let him have one. You know, just let him have one at the end. Little cutesy. Here you go. There you go, Leafs. And then he pinches their cheeks.
Because he's got class.
He's got class.
He's a guy who decides, you know what? I feel bad for you, Toronto.
Yep.
I feel bad for what we've done to you all night.
Humiliated you guys.
He's a nice guy.
And you want to know something? They all thought coming into this game, they're like, what are we going to do? Head on a swivel. And it's like, yeah, but really, the way we're going to kick your ass is not by fists, though that happened too. It is by lighting up the scoreboard and putting it on the Maple Leafs yesterday. So much so that they are throwing Austin Matthews jerseys in disgust on the ice. If you guys wanted to know what rats off a ship was, you just witnessed it last night.
Yep.
That's what that was. Rats off a ship. Did you see how empty that barn was by the end, Leroy?
Hey, they kept making announcements. And people are starting to leave after 3-0, 4-0. More people are leaving. 5-0. Oh, it's quiet. 6-0. It's like practice.
Yeah, I would be like, what do you mean we're getting lit up by Dmitry Kulikov, Jesper Boquist, and Nico Mikkola, everybody scoring, AJ Greer, all getting their first goals of the postseason last night.
Didn't Greer get 2?
Last night?
He
got a goal. He got a goal, and then he got a 2-piece.
A 2-piece. Okay, there it is.
Saw Marchand choking the little.
Did he choke him?
Well,
I mean, like,
it was like a hug.
He's like, but did you see where he goes, scrum, and he runs back? He's ready for the change. He goes,
no,
wait, fight.
I know what Greer got into a little something, and dude gave him like a little half piece.
Yeah,
and he looked at
took him to the ice.
So it's okay now. It's okay now.
Touch me and I'll sue. Aaron Ekblad sticking it to Brooks Koepka once again to open up the scoring yesterday. Just Leroy, the series isn't over, but it feels like they've taken the soul of that team.
Oh my goodness. 3 in a row, and game 3 took their soul. And it's been downhill ever since.
Man, what a time.
And
headlines.
It's moments like this, like if Paul Maurice was their coach, I wouldn't be worried because of the way he handles himself and the way he talks about how they need to do things. You always feel okay. You're always fine going into the next game when you hear Paul Maurice talk.
But Ruby, I don't know, dude. This ain't 2019 with your Blues, you know? Anyway, headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose for over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory of the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Our first headline, happy birthday, Leroy!
Oh, yeah. Hey, I've already had a day. Let me just show you this piece of paper. This is all you need to know about my day. What does that say up top?
It's Collier County something.
Yeah.
That's where you went?
Yes. I got up at 5:30. Well,
where'd you go? You said you went to Immokalee?
Yeah.
Place?
Yeah. So here's what happened.
Broccoli?
Yesterday, when I had to get a loaner because something happened to my car. And it just started shaking. So I dropped it off, right? And they gave me a loaner. And then they go, man, I got to get my driver's license tomorrow. It expires. I said, I'll just go early to DMV. And the girl goes, I went at 4:00 one morning and didn't get seen because they only take like 10 to 15 walk-ups.
Right. And they're cutting people left and right from the DMVs.
Right. So the guy next to her, old guy, you know, us old guys know the tricks of the trade.
The old no tricks.
He goes, here's what you got to do. You get up early. It takes an hour and 20 minutes. Drive to Collier County, to Immokalee. There'll be nobody there. It'll take you 10 minutes. You get back in your car. You drive back. You won't miss anything you have to do in your day.
Instead of waiting 2 hours at your DMV, you're just driving.
No, it's longer than 2 hours.
I'm just saying, like you might as well just spend 90 to 2 hours.
I would have never made it to work. If I went to Sunrise, I would have never gotten to work.
Man.
So I get there. Dude, I have never felt so sad in my life.
Why?
It was like getting kicked in the junk, stepped on, and poked in the eye at the same time. There was a sign on the door. Collier County residents only.
Oof.
They caught on to the trick. That's why.
Right.
Oh, Broward County again.
So I was like, I'm ignoring that. I'm pot committed.
Yeah.
You're in. Time to sweet talk.
So
I can get the table and herbs and rye.
Yeah. So I went in and the lady says, listen, we had to stop people from the East Coast coming over. I'm like, ma'am, sorry for what I'm about to say. I have a plane flight later,
Leroy.
and I'll be able to get on the plane, but I won't be able to fly back because my
Wow.
license will be suspended.
So you used all of your Lent credit to put
Yeah,
it.
I burned it till next year.
Wow.
So
use my Lent points.
they gave it to me, and then she said, "Let me check with my manager." I'm like, "I'm the only one here. There's 4 of you. I could be done in like 5 minutes." Yep.
Get out of there.
But they said it's on the website. It's everywhere. We only do Collier County. So I got really, really, really lucky.
All right. Well, yeah, man. I'm glad you got it done, and I'm glad you had a safe drive over here.
Can't go when they just open. Got to go right before they close. I'm not going in the middle of nowhere at 5 minutes to 4.
That's it right there. You know, because you get there when they just open. They're still bright-eyed.
No, they're not. No, listen.
Right
If
before
you
they
get
close,
there when they first open,
Probably
nobody's
happy.
actually working.
You can bring some donuts.
Oh, see, that's
Rob 'em with
that's a vet
donuts.
Move. That is a vet move right there.
Donuts?
Donuts
Or
and
some
coffee?
you want some croquetas? What can I get for you?
I'll tell you what.
And can I
That's
just
good.
tell you,
That's a good move.
I drove 80 miles I was 20 miles from Naples, right? Exit 80. So, exit 105 is, then you make a right at the Immokalee exit. It's 2 lanes for 20 miles.
What do you take, Alligator Alley to get over there?
Alligator Alley and then you get off at Immokalee is 20 miles on 2-lane road with school zones. I couldn't believe there was school zones because I didn't see no people. Who's
Anything
fighting
called
me?
Alligator Alley. That's
Well, J-Fig, she's blowing up our chat. We need the dump button for her.
potty mouth, dude.
And then you're in the middle of nowhere when it says Panther Crossing.
Ooh, were you careful?
Oh, hey, watch out.
That's crazy.
Watch out for those.
I saw the same thing yesterday in Game 5.
Yeah!
Except the Blues weren't watching. They weren't watching. Cat fever! Back up to this.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass
Here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2. Enjoy Cancun, Jimmy Butler. Woo! Woo!
Playoff Jimmy.
Hey,
Man, that's good.
will you admit you were wrong?
I will admit I was wrong.
Okay.
I will admit I was wrong because he's no longer playoff Jimmy.
Right. He's
He's
just
sidekick Jimmy. That's what he is. That's all he is.
not even sidekick.
He's settled in for it. He's a role guy.
Yeah.
That's what he is now.
He's really
How-
emphasizes.
Question on ESPN is what happened to play? He's gone. He's
Here's
not
the
here
problem.
anymore.
How you only take 11 shots and it's a do or die game?
Hey, it's a fair question, Leroy. It's a fair
But
question.
guys,
Which
he found his joy.
wait,
Hey, look, all that
Which-
matters is his
which-
joy.
He found his
which
joy.
I brought this up while he was here.
Yeah,
that
except when he was
you-
here, his last 2 playoffs, he averaged 26 and 27 points a game. Like this playoffs, he didn't even average 20.
The things change.
Man,
That was satisfying.
that's a hefty price tag for 25 games of joy.
Look at
Hey,
Price tag for 25.
wait a minute. You can't say
Price
that.
tag.
You would have paid him.
Yeah, at least I got finals out of it. The Warriors. Woo!
You wouldn't have got that this year.
At least I'm getting some. Yeah,
or
but at
that,
least I can
wait,
look.
and imagine. Or next year, or that extra year he wanted. You would have been stuck with a $60 million bill.
He looks quite old. He looks quite old. And
So,
satisfied too. He
are
doesn't
you
look.
gonna apologize to Pat for making the right move?
What do I have to apologize to Pat for? If anything, I took the brunt of his criticism all year. Everybody said I ruined the franchise.
Are you gonna say Pat was right?
No, because he didn't handle it right.
No. He was right for not paying him.
He was right in not paying him.
Okay,
He
that's
was
it. That's all that matters.
It's not all that matters.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
not all that matters.
Yeah, it is.
Because you could have had a non-nuked season if you would have handled it correctly.
Really? So you're saying Jimmy would have did more than he did with Golden State if you had paid him?
I don't really
Because you would have
understand.
said you're saying you would have had a non-nuke season, but Jimmy wouldn't have been Jimmy. So how you're assuming that if Jimmy was with the Heat, the season would have been any different than what it was. And
No,
I'm saying that it
actually
wouldn't
saying-
have.
I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying if you would have traded him at the start of
Oh,
the season,
no, right.
maybe your
No,
season
okay,
doesn't get
yes.
imploded by
Yes.
chicanery. and
That
suspension.
that part I agree with.
Yeah,
I'm merely talking
I'm
about
I'm
the
not
whole
talking about.
Jimmy and what you expect from Jimmy aspect of this whole situation.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about if he's gone.
He should have did it in the summer.
Yes,
Correct. So yes, that part I agree with.
but he is right that he can't do that anymore. Whatever he had, whatever fuel was left in the tank, it just doesn't look like it's even him trying to muster it in game 3 where he played really well. 33 points.
That was it.
I think he had no buckets in the last 9 minutes.
Right.
But he's got his joy.
Got his joy.
He's got his joy.
He's got his joy.
And that's what matters, not rangs.
He don't even talk
Joy.
about it. You know what? He should just come out and say, it wasn't about joy. I got my money.
I got my
Because
money.
That's it.
Yeah, he got his money. He got his $60 million golden parachute.
Mhm.
That's it.
He added the third to the back of his jersey.
Right.
Now he should add another word underneath that. It should
Mhm.
be Jimmy Butler the third option because
That's
the point.
That's the point.
Woo! Pods, you go do it. Pods.
Isn't it amazing when all the guys that did all the scoring was the guys that the Warriors hate the most?
Steve Kerr's like, hey man, you think Steve Kerr has a conversation? He's like, hey Jimmy, I really didn't want to do that. I said, yeah, I don't know. But Jimmy's gonna be like, I play the right way. They're gonna give that speech.
somewhere Klay Thompson's in Dallas, like Jimmy Butler over me.
Cool. It's fair. Would you rather let Klay Thompson ride out into the sunset, or you had 25 games of Jimmy Butler getting you to the play-in?
Same.
Do right by your legends, right?
Yeah.
Do right by your legends.
And honestly, look, obviously, you made the best point. If we were going to get rid of Jimmy Butler, should have done it before the season. But had
Right.
he stayed and everyone followed the
But
rules, would have been better than Andrew Wiggins.
To be honest with you, I literally think everybody fell for the words that Jimmy said. Right? I'm just going to go out and ball. And so I think everybody in the Heat organization took his word at that and said, okay, we'll revisit this or think about what we're going to do with him.
I'll tell you
after the season.
what I would have done though, because I know that like they had this whole back and forth where we got side eye and all that. As soon as he said I had a stomach ache from a twisted ankle, they should have been like, let's get him out of here now.
Yeah.
Because that was complete horse bleep. Like stomach bug. What? We all saw what happened.
Meanwhile, Jaime is like, I believe him. I believe him.
Wow. So yeah, they lose last night, 121-110. 1-2-3 Cancun for the Warriors. Obviously, they did not have Steph Curry. Would it have been different without Steph Curry? Hard to say. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Been there. I know it's frustrating when guys get hurt in a series. But
yeah, but they lost their dude.
Yeah, they lost their dude. They lost Goran Dragic. He was the leading scorer of that playoffs. We'll never know. But hey, he'll be 38. Jimmy will be 36. Run it back.
I feel good about this. I feel good about everything I've seen. Just got to get rid of those Knicks. Am I right? Then everything will be like, okay.
This is a bit. See what I mean? When people are like getting at me because of the Knicks Celtics thing.
Yeah.
The Knicks thinking they're going to close it out and getting waxed is funny. It's you get dominated by Luke Cornett. Like, don't tell me that's not funny.
That Luke Cornett, that's funny.
I don't know what to do here.
You hope for a game 7.
I hope for
because you want to, you know what you want. You want puckered cheeks.
Just squeaky cheeks all over. They're gonna get tight.
Holding them cheeks like you got to go real bad, and you're 10 minutes from home.
Gotta watch out. When you know you're close to home too, it gets worse.
Oh,
like
dude.
you Bluetooth connect to the
Handsome
toilet.
Daffy said he balled all right. Balled up when it counted.
Hey.
Point for Twitcher.
Wow. Playoff Jimmy from Ian. 4 of 11, 17 points. Outscored by Pajemski and Kuminga.
Oof.
Shot the same field goal percentage as Draymond Green.
Oof.
Had 4 games to take over. Went 0 for 4. Woo. Man. He couldn't even muster it up once.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Winning.
It's great though. I've seen so much less of him in Buddy Hield, and it's been great.
Oh, Buddy Hield's probably disgusted with him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're not friends anymore.
He's like, I won more games than you. Buddy Hield was more important to this. To what, however far they got, Buddy Hield was bigger than Jimmy Butler.
That's Pods.
Pods hasn't been very good, but he was decent yesterday.
I got to tell you, I wonder what our boy is saying in
Who, Shashki?
Yeah.
We had this guy.
Jimmy took a big old Shosky on the floor last night.
Did you hear any of that, Marcos? When you were with Baby Tadpole, we had that dude on from 95.7 The Game, old Shosky.
Oh no,
He was losing his mind. He's like, just shoot the ball. Just shoot the ball.
Been there, buddy.
Oh,
Been there.
no, play it, because we need you to mix this up.
Is it in our system, Marcos?
Yeah, I can get it.
We need you to mix this.
It was something, man.
What is this like is there a musical?
It's definitely got remixed.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely got remixed.
Jimmy or Pods dribble into the key. Jump stop. Pump fake, pump fake, pump fake. Pivot, 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 and try to throw. Shoot the ball! You're in the key! Shoot the ball!
Well, it's time to pivot to Cancun.
Hey,
whoa! There's
Hey.
potential there.
Hey, there's potential there.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna have a banger by today's show.
Whew, that's good.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I'm not happy that he's not successful.
You're
You know,
not?
I'm not praying on his downfall, but we'll go a little bit happier today. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, we came in smiling for a bunch of reasons. Panthers,
Cancun Warriors.
Cancun Warriors, Knicks, tighten it up.
It's fun, baby.
Yeah.
Whitney says 37 and 55. We're talking about Jimmy. You're goddamn right. We're talking about Jimmy Butler getting bounced. You're goddamn right we are. First of all, I never get this. Sit on the sidelines. You guys lost. No. Let me welcome you to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, and let me welcome you to sports, because maybe you haven't been here. Sore losing is very healthy. And after you lose, what I get is I get to petty watch. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the term misery loves company, but it does. And so you're goddamn right. If Jimmy Butler is not here in the finals or hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy, I'm a laugh.
Remember those conversations before the playoffs?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But get out of here. Oh, you guys are going to talk about it? Yes. Yes. And I'm going to enjoy it. You want to know why? Because of what I had to watch this season. So they can be miserable too. It feels good.
Just finding my joy.
You want to call it sore loser talk? Then I'm feeling extra sore today.
That's great.
Anyway. Feels good. Feels good. Feels like justice.
Another good reason that I woke up happy today. Dolphins didn't completely blow it with their schedule release.
They did Zach Thomas.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
The Colts did.
Oh, kind of funny, though. But, hey, how dare you disrespect them?
Well,
makes sense.
We'll get to what they did. Because the Colts had to issue an apology to Tyreek Hill.
Really?
Which is the first apology he's gotten probably in a long time. They got a little too cute with their jokey jokes in the schedule release, Leroy. We'll tell you about it next.
Mr. White, now you heard me, Fox a million.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Alex Donno is going to join us in the 12 o'clock hour from Miami Hurricanes post games here on WQAM. Donno, we want to talk about this whole recruiting fiasco. Everybody's all mad at the Canes. So
why are they mad at the Canes? I don't understand. That's the game.
But I was looking on Donno's account yesterday, and it was funny because after Cantwell picked the Canes, apparently he said recruiting websites knocked him down from number 1 recruit to number 10. Like there's a lot of shadiness going on here with him picking the Canes. So we'll talk to Donno about that coming up in the 12 o'clock hour. And yesterday, the Miami Dolphins schedule came out, and we'll get to that in just in a bit as well. I am going to give Leroy a reprieve for his birthday.
Okay.
No, that's a win. That's a loss today.
Today.
Tomorrow's another story.
You're not gonna know. You're not gonna be able to know what I'm gonna pick this year. Should be different.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Gotta find out.
But I will give him a birthday present for the day.
It's kind of.
But yesterday, you know how everybody makes a big deal of the schedule release. The Dolphins.
This started recently, though, right? Like,
yeah, I'd say like 4 years ago that this became very chic. See the Bills, they hired Allen Iverson.
That was good though.
They hired Allen Iverson because they're like just because they're like, Josh Allen, how should we do it? They're like, just use AI. And they're like, and what's the GM's name? Is it Bean? Brandon Bean, I think.
Bean, yes.
And he's like AI, and so the only AI he knows is Allen Iverson. So Allen Iverson just holds up a piece of paper with their schedule.
Like, this is the Bills' schedule.
He has no ties to the Bills, but he's like, I like Josh Allen. So he did that.
It was a nice check too.
The Chargers have become very famous for doing things. Now the Chargers and the Colts both did Minecraft. And the Chargers are known to take little pot shots at teams. One time they had Mike McDaniel as anime vaping.
Yeah.
Funny. Yesterday they had Tyreek Hill late to a meeting. Cute.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cute for your own little for a foe you're going to take on. The Colts, they took no prisoners. And they were taking shots at everybody. They were taking shots at Ian Rappaport and Jordan Schultz for fighting at Starbucks. For the Texans, they had Braxton Berrios' squeeze shaking her Minecraft tush.
What?
But the one that got him in real trouble.
He just got there.
The one that got them in real trouble, for our viewing audience, we'll play this here, but the one that got him in real trouble was week 1, hosting the Miami Dolphins. And as you can see here, Leroy, this is what they decided to do. Now, for our radio audience, what happened there was they have a water. They have an actual dolphin wearing the number 10, Minecraft style, and it says Hill over it. And then the Coast Guard pulls up to pull over Tyreek Hill, the dolphin. And obviously this did not, I gather this did not go over too well with the
funny though. Funny.
It's funny.
If you wanted to make a funny, mission accomplished.
The Colts had to delete it. Now their claim is, this is what they said. We removed the schedule release video because it exceeded our rights with Microsoft and included an insensitive clip involving Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill. We sincerely apologize to Microsoft and Tyreek.
Damage is done.
Wow. Honestly, I'm interested to see if Tyreek comments on that. Or before, a few years ago, we'd be like, oh, you know what? That means
He's gonna
Tyreek
go for two. He's gonna go for
200
250.
yards. Now I'm kind of like, I don't even know. I don't even know what's gonna happen.
No, he has to. I mean, maybe this is the thing that sparks him
Maybe, hopefully.
back on the path.
2 years ago, it would have been like, oh, 250. He's going for 250.
That's a problem for you guys.
Now it's kind of like, I don't know. I really just don't know. And it's not like he's gotten worse as a football player. I just don't know anything with this team. Tua looks fat. What? Who said that? Who said what? Did someone say that? Just nothing. I just don't know with this team. I like KG. It's the only thing I can.
You like Kenny G?
I like Kenny G. I mean, I like that we did that, but tell me, a few years ago.
Do you think that they actually exceeded their rights with Microsoft, or just simply because they did the thing that was insensitive with Tyreek Hill?
It was a Tyreek Hill.
Which, by the way, I don't know was as insensitive as what is her name? Alex Earl?
Yeah.
Minecraft Alex Earl shaking her tush.
What is that?
I don't know if that was not more insensitive than Tyreek, but clearly she is not an employee of the NFL. So
what's crazy? He hasn't even taken a snap for them yet.
I just got here, dude.
CJ Stroud, nothing on him. Like, come on.
Now wait. So they exceeded their rights with Microsoft, but the Chargers did it too.
Yeah.
Did they exceed their rights?
I don't see the Chargers taking their stuff down. I think the Chargers have extra clearance that the Colts don't. Like, I don't.
They also apologized to Microsoft first.
What
do you have to apologize for?
What are we doing? Because you stole?
I mean, no, the Chargers one's still up there. Got 10 million views.
Look at that.
Yeah. Crazy. Minecraft, big theme. But you're right, dude. Like that a year ago would have been Tyreek Hill revenge game circled.
You better watch out.
I hope that's what it does.
Me too. I don't think they got beef now. They're not buddies.
The Dolphins?
He's leaving him out of his top 5. Tua's on a revenge tour. I don't know what's going on. I'm just concerned. But with that being said, that's a win, that's a loss tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It may change my opinion on this now.
True.
We apologize to Microsoft and Tyreek. Should they just been like, hey, funny's funny?
Yeah, if they would have doubled down, I actually would have gained a little bit of respect for them.
Maybe they want to get him.
Acquire. I mean,
I'm sure they got Rosenhaus guys on their team too. I'm sure he wasn't too pleased with that.
Yeah, it's true. What's interesting is he's always quick to comment on things and hasn't gotten around to it.
He's definitely got to comment on this. This is ripe. This is finally like a win for him.
Yeah,
like where he can get in there and being like, really, Coast Guard and a Dolphin, huh?
Even if you were to he'll tweet like an emoji or something like, eyes, like I saw that, or like a peace symbol, like, okay, I got you. We'll see. Nothing. Now you want to stay quiet? Now you want to say nothing?
I'll tell you what I'm nervous about though, dude.
What's that?
A lot of primetime games. It's a lot of primetime games for the Dolphins. It's a lot of prime. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that.
You know what I can't figure out about you? If they didn't have primetime games, you complain about it.
Nah.
No, stop. You do it every sport.
I understand what you're saying, because yes, if a team of mine doesn't get enough national TV exposure, but I'm fair about it. Like when the Heat wouldn't get it like all the finals runs or something like that, I'm like, well, that's kind of horse bleep. But the Dolphins, first of all, not only are they less interesting this year because they're coming off the year they did, but they're usually an awful primetime watch. Like it's like they always get their teeth kicked in on primetime games.
At some point it has to change, right?
I would hope so.
Right. Then why are you like complaining before they even play?
Well, I mean, like, dude, they're starting off with 3 division games,
All right.
Patriots, Bills, and Jets, and the Bills and Jets both on primetime. And, we know about PTT.
Yeah. Good.
PTT, primetime Tua.
Oof.
All right.
I don't know.
I think it's a good thing. We find out very early what we have. If Tua goes 0 for 3 in these first 3 division games, season's done. We're tanking the rest of the season.
What do you mean?
I'm done. I don't want a mediocre season anymore.
So you want Tua to be sat for who?
I want to trade him if he loses the first
Just
three.
do that. You
I
can't
wanna
just dump. This is not
unload
the
him.
NBA.
Well, we got Ewers in the back. We got Milf Hunter. We're loaded at the quarterback position. Pick up Shador for all I care. If he loses these first three, I'm done.
The
Season's
Patriots do have Vrabel now. Remember, Vrabel put that work on him when he was in
Vrabel.
Tennessee.
done. We almost lost to Drake May last year. Like, I will not look at a Dolphin game and say, "Oh, we got this." Except for tomorrow, when we do, that's a win, that's a loss. Because
What about at Carolina? Gotta say we got this, right? The Carolina Panthers.
No, I literally cannot say that.
Here's the deal.
Not say that.
Hey, here's the deal.
Did they get better? They got a little bit better.
Here's the deal.
Worse.
That's true.
You have no idea who's going to be good and who's going to be bad as of right now. Right? You don't. So for you guys to just sit here and talk about who's going to be good, who's going to be bad, you're crazy.
At Cleveland in October. I mean, like, they're gonna have a rookie quarterback.
Okay, maybe that's the one game. It's Cleveland.
What about
Cleveland.
the defense?
What about the defense?
That's actually the problem. We don't have any legit safeties or
No,
corners.
I'm talking about the Browns defense.
Oh, them. What do they got?
Miles Garrett.
Have Miles Garrett.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then Mason Graham.
Well, let him get through a rookie camp without puking first before we chalk him
All
up.
right.
I feel like we got the
All
better
right.
Wolverine.
Yeah,
Kenny
All
G.
BG. Getting those
All right.
sacks.
Terrible sex. That's got to be a gimme though.
Yeah.
At Atlanta, not so sure.
Oof.
You going to Cleveland for this game this year, Leroy?
That game's in Spain.
Which game?
What are we talking?
Isn't Cleveland? No.
No,
they're the
Commanders is Spain.
Oh, okay.
Cleveland's in Cleveland.
I may.
Field trip like that. We're hitting the road, boys.
We got the Leroy's childhood New Orleans Saints coming to town.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Going that way?
November.
Leroy
November
and
30th.
That is cool.
Tua's got a lot of proving to do, dude. A lot of showdowns. Bing, bing, bing. 3 division games right off the bat. Him versus Justin Herbert. Got Tua versus Jaden Daniels. As the rookie already passed him by.
Come on.
I don't know who the Saints quarterback is because Derek Carr just retired.
They have what's the guy's name? Stouffer? Is it Stouffer?
They draft a guy that was like,
Yeah.
what? This is who you wanted?
They drafted the Louisville kid.
Yes.
Shuck?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Chauffeur. Show something.
I think
Show
it's-
Tyler Show or something like that.
It's Shuck. I think it's Shuck.
Really?
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
SHOUGH?
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Shuck.
I respect him less now.
Why?
That's not right. That's crazy.
I mean, he's older than Derek Carr, so
He is
good for him.
very old. 6'5". Ooh.
6'5" and 65. Here we are, Grant, the first quarterback to ever collect Social Security. You got to admire that kind of gusto.
This is the worst quarterback room in the league for sure.
They got him. They got Rattler, right?
Yeah.
And who's the other
Yeah.
guy?
Jake Haener and Hunter Deckers.
Oh, I don't know who those guys are.
This is the worst quarterback room I've probably ever heard.
I mean, Cleveland's got a bunch of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very funny. It's like everybody's
So
like,
strange.
it's like, look at what we got here. But Dylan Gabriel is tiny. Everybody's just making note of it.
Yeah.
You saw the
He is adorable though.
Yeah, great. Is that something you want in your quarterback?
Obviously,
No,
he's adorable.
here's what I would say. In that division, having a tiny quarterback, he better have a cannon.
Which he does not.
Right.
Which he does not. He's honestly like, he's like dollar store Tua. Like that's, he's probably like, he's got Tua qualities, but he's not.
Yeah, I don't see a place for him. I just don't.
I mean, he might start.
But what does he do exceptional? Well, yes, he might start.
He
for
might
sure.
start. Who else are they going to go with? Flacco?
Hey, listen,
Flacco gonna give you 4 to 5.
at a certain point,
Oh,
Flacco will be the starting quarterback.
But Flacco going Flacco.
For sure.
You're going to go 300, 320, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, and then 4 picks and 5 completions.
Man, that's something.
That's
I mean,
cool.
We apologize, Microsoft.
I think we need to get into the petty game because ours is like, this is our schedule. And everyone is like, look at these losers.
They probably see. Here's the thing, like, no disrespect, but the Dolphins social media department, they gotta get a little bit more creative. They're good at the Goosies, like they're good at the slow-mo Goosies,
Yeah.
but they're not so good at the funny.
You know what? I got it. Next year's schedule release, we got Channing Crowder at the Fort Lauderdale Improv.
What? You're playing a show?
We'll got him on stage. And then we got the spotlight on him. He goes to the schedule. He roasts every team in a one-liner. Cleveland, the anus of America. And then he'll just keep going.
wow.
And there you go. I mean, yeah, I'm just quoting him. Just quoting him on that one.
Did he say that?
He did. He did,
Wow.
actually. Then they did a whole story in Cleveland. They did not like that very
They
much.
basically just Zach Thomas'd us. They're like, here's Zach
Yeah.
Thomas Goosies. This is what you get.
And you know what? He had given me Goosies on the Joe Rowe show the day before.
Oh,
I
so
was
you
like,
got spoiled
I was
Goosies.
like, okay, double Zach Thomas Goosies. I guess that's good.
We'll take a break. Howard Tua is next.
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tonga Vailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Let's get the headlines brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory, like the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Panthers.
Yeah.
Throttle the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-1, taking a 3-2 series lead. The Cats put it on them.
You know that was 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Just want to let you know.
What?
3 in a row, Toronto. We won Florida. We won Florida. Stupid.
Got what you wanted. You know what they say, though?
What they say?
Careful what you wish for.
They do. They say that.
They say that. They say that.
I've heard that.
And you want to know what you got to be careful of? Aaron Ekblad with piss whistles, dude.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. Let's hear a little bit of Plagans last night. Let's listen to some goals because there were a lot of them.
Jesper Boquist left side, cruising in left, circle a shot, save made Wall, rebound out to the slot, Reinhardt a try, then a rebound from Boquist as well, and Wall able to weather the storm there. A couple of big saves for the Leafs goaltender, a turnover, Matthews gave it to Barkov, out in front, Boquist looking for Reinhardt, Ekblad a shot, and he scores! Top shelf, Aaron Ekblad, and the Panthers take a 1-0 lead with 5:22 to play here in the first.
Yeah.
What did you say? When Mama keeps the peanut butter?
Top shelf where Mrs. Mola keeps the peanut butter. That's what Randy used to say on the broadcast. Man. So 1-0 after 1. Hey, you guys can come back from that, right, Leafs? You know, all you got to do is just
Score.
not give up 3 straight goals to guys who haven't scored in the postseason. Like Dmitry Kulikov.
Verhaeghe to the far circle, lost it, got it back to Bennett, back out front to the near boards, Kachuk, out to the line for Nate Schmidt, across one-timer, Kulikov deflects, and he scores! 13:52 to go in the second, the Panthers have doubled their lead, it's 2-0, Dmitry Kulikov, a one-timer from the right point, that one changed course on the way, and the Panthers have a 2-0 lead.
Delicious. Then the yes man put in the lineup yesterday because no Evan Rodriguez. Jesper Boquist. He made it 3-0 Cats.
Marner has it near side, backhand through center, Forsling intercepts, back in for Reinhardt, right circle, out front, and they score, and it's Jesper Boquist on the back door. What a setup. Reinhardt to Boquist. 9:53 to go in the second, and the Panthers have opened up a 3-0 lead here in Toronto.
You know, we had a poll yesterday. What's the best way to calm Nico Mikkola? We asked if you should give him a whole fish, if you should give him a glass bottle of Coca-Cola, a Klondike bar, or classic cherry icy. The answer was none of those.
Whoa.
How you calm Nico Mikkola is you give him the puck and you get out of the way.
And here's Nico Mikkola on the end wall. He'll have it deep in the offensive end to Lundell. He's shouldered there by Tanev. And Chris Tanev over on that far side. It's chopped away by Luosterin and Lundell. Then a drive. Mikkola, and he scores! Nico Mikkola! A rocket ball.
He's a polar bear on skates, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, enough of this Finnish nonsense with the stars. Okay,
You've had enough. Of
that's
that.
little Finland.
That's
Anton Lundell at Tulosterinen, Nico Mikkola, Golski, dude. That's Finland. That's Get me my bathrobe. Get me my sauna.
Wow, Panthers bathrobe.
That is Finland. Now they go to break. Did it feel like, and I don't know if it felt like this to you guys, did it feel like the ESPN broadcast team wanted to jump out a window?
Oh,
Like, did it feel like a funeral in there, or was it me?
They were so
Are they so
disgusted.
sad?
They were so disgusted with Toronto's
be.
effort.
Yeah. You ever get like that? Like, even in a rivalry, like if you beat somebody down so bad, do you ever feel sorry for them or like
No.
almost like embarrassed for them?
No.
that was bad. Though.
I think I felt like I felt almost embarrassed for them. Like, eesh, this is the best effort you guys can come with. Do or die.
Here's the problem.
Biggest Leafs game in a long time, a tortured fan base, and that's what they give their fans.
But here's the thing.
They were booing them.
The crazy thing is what people don't understand. It could have happened in game 4. Like, it was the same energy. You haven't matched that energy in probably 8 periods.
Maybe more.
Well, because remember they had that 3-1 lead. So I'm going back to that game.
What a time. AJ Greer, normally there for punching you right in the face. He decided to punch it in the net.
Here's a long shot
there's
from far
a face.
point in front. They score, and it's A.J. Greer. It hit a Maple Leaf bounce right to Greer. He jams it home, and the Panthers take a 5-0 lead.
Whose side is Toronto on?
Huh?
I mean, he got the assist, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's been going on there. They played so like heartless. Tough.
But you know what? In fairness to, I'm not gonna say in fairness to Toronto, because it is what it is. Sometimes, and I kind of saw this with the Panthers, they sucked the life out of that building, that team, everyone.
But Leroy, they're throwing their captain's sweater on the ice. First of all, hockey jerseys, not cheap. One thing to throw a hat. One thing to throw a t-shirt. You throw your sweater on the ice. I'm disgusted with this. And they go to them. They're all so sad and broken in that parking lot. You know, I don't know. And then of course, just to add a little insult to injury, Sam Bennett, who they wanted in handcuffs.
Yeah, I was happy. See, and I watched the game even though I knew it was over, but this made me the happiest.
Sam
Get
Bennett.
your one, Sam. Get your one, Sam. Get your one.
Shot Bennett, and he scores a power play goal. Sam Bennett wastes no time. A wrister past the glove hand of Matt Murray, and the Panthers take a 6-0 lead here in Game 5.
Sergei Bobrovsky was a minute 6 seconds away from getting his second straight shutout. It was a gentleman's shutout as they made it 6-1. And then all hell broke loose, and Bob became a meme because everybody was fighting, and he's just
Wait, you know what that's equivalent to?
That's great.
The quarterback. Like, if there's a fight on the field, the quarterback stands over there.
it's just like it started immediately after they scored. All it was like, wait, and it was so funny because it was zoomed in on the scrum, and my first thought was, where's Bob?
Bob's under it.
Bob? Is he under there? Nope. Focus.
He's not even looking at the fight.
No, that's reset, refocus right there. He goes, I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this.
It's like,
You
are
never
you
know.
guys done? I want to get home to my family. Come on, guys.
That is like, can we just, and by the way, the third period took forever because they had to kick guys out. They, fisticuffs,
I get annoyed. Like in basketball, the great thing they do in basketball and blowouts, they try to get the game over with. Both teams. You take your starters out, you let all your role players go in there and play. I mean, why y'all fighting now? Right?
Done, dude.
down 6-1. Just get it to the end of the game, go home and regroup.
Somebody said, you guys hear the Steve Dangle Toronto Tobin? Sure did. He was pissed.
Wait, really?
I saw this guy all over my timeline last night because he was losing his mind. I think he does a live stream in Toronto as this is all going on, and he's just losing his mind as these games are going on.
OEL to Mitch. Mitch, what was that? Here come the Panthers off a spinny backhand pass, and they score. Mitch, what on earth are you friggin' doing? What? What's going through your head when you did that?
Oh, God.
What is your major malfunction?
What
made you think that was the move? The Panthers have Jesper friggin' Boquist up on their top line tonight.
That's right, respect.
And he just buried you clowns. 3-0 in your own barn halfway through a game 5? You guys suck!
Oh, my God. That man is broken.
Look, to be fair, I'm never like that watching a game.
Wait,
Never.
No, that's because you're in your house. That's why.
I'm never like that watching a game.
I think when it gets bad, Tobin just hits the bottle.
I just hit the bottle.
He just hits the hooch.
I'll get mad about some stuff as I'm like talking about it. He's live streaming that.
Yeah.
Wait, my favorite is he goes spinny back pass.
I did see.
You know what? It's a fair description of it, though.
I really did see some questionable passes.
They were like, wee! Like they were out there just not trying. It was. I really like it, it's something. It really was something. But I told you down 0-2. This franchise does not break. They are a champion. They are distinguished. They will not back down. People worried about Sergei Bobrovsky all the way through. Let me tell you something, dude. When that overtime hit and he stops that breakaway in game 3, Bob's been so nails ever since then. People are in trouble, dude. You're in trouble when Sergei Bobrovsky's in that mode. Even yesterday, like for a game, like he goes out there, 31 saves for him. It's not like he had nothing at him. Kicked their ass. Let's hear from the focused man himself as he sits there. Focused.
Is there ever like a certain feeling that you get where you know you're really dialed in?
Oh, it's tough to say. You know, every moment is a big moment, so you don't know how it's gonna turn up. So it's we're just trying to focus on one shot, one moment, and that's pretty much it.
You can tell that guy's a new guy. What kind of a question is that to Sergei Bobrovsky?
Hold on.
It could be January against the Yotes, dude. Focus.
What did you like most about how the team played in front of you, especially early in this game?
Yeah, I think they did a great job. They play a hard gap game, simple, strong, hard. So it's a unit, as a 5 guys. So it was good win for us.
Did you feel like something sort of turned or flipped maybe midway through game 3? What's the difference?
I mean, I don't know. I trying to stay with for one moment and don't think much about ahead or behind. So, yeah, it's a playoff. We're happy with the win, but the next one is a big game. So we're gonna reset, regroup, and get ready for the next game.
Reset, regroup.
It's like nobody ever talks to him. It's kind of crazy. And they keep trying this. Did something else flip? No. Did I not cover this in Reset Refocus?
You seem a little.
wait, what? Did I not cover this?
Everybody just asks. It's like everybody's new to the Bob. The guy's been in this, made Stanley Cup runs the last 2 years. Everybody's just like, so Bob, did something really flip? No, dude. Reset, refocus.
Yeah, he had lots of speed, so he's an elite player, and yeah, I was fortunate to get my gap, and that's pretty much it.
Cooley makes block a lot of shots in front of you usually, but to see them all get goals tonight, just how nice was that?
Yeah, it's definitely great. The ball stepped up too. So he didn't play last couple games. It's a big goal for him. So everybody contributed. It's a big team win.
Bob, what's the mood in the room like now, considering you guys are down 2-0 to start the series? You guys rattle off 3 straight and win the game like this. What do you guys say? How you guys feel knowing you're 1 away from moving on?
Yeah, it's definitely we're happy with where we're at, but we're also humble and focused. So it's again next shift, next moment, and we're ready.
Sergei, you went almost over 140 minutes without allowing a goal in this series. What was clicking for you over the last couple of games?
Yeah, it's a team sport. You know, everybody play hard in front of me, and yeah, there's some good moments. That's it.
He looks so annoyed at answering
What do they
questions.
expect him to say?
You guys have asked me 9 times what changed.
You've been on
I said reset, refocus.
Can I ask a question? This is an honest question.
What's changed, Bob?
Why, when it's time for an athlete to answer a question, you want him to be damn near a rocket scientist and get in deep detail, and when he doesn't, you think the athlete is dumb enough to realize that you just asked the same question a different way?
Literally was asked what changed 4 times in that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
And like he's like, did I not say reset, refocus? But we have a new one now. We are not just reset, refocused. We are humble and focused.
Oh yes,
humble.
Oh, he uses humble a lot too.
What else is humble? It's a little Celsius, baby.
Oh,
it's the road to repeat. Bronzes by friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a party play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers. Woo-hoo! Hey, you know what's on the docket today, right?
Plyavad?
Nah, dude.
Golf?
Not
PGA?
Plyavad. Yeah, PGA Championship.
What's doing over there right now?
It was going pretty good, but Rory, all 3 guys in the group double bogeyed the same hole.
Is this a hard course?
It's a famous one.
What's it called?
Hold on, where are they playing? I got my thing.
Quail Hollow?
Quail Hollow in North Carolina.
Oh yes, Quail Hollow.
Ah, the Schaffman won this last year.
Oh,
It's also where no, he didn't win here. They played different places. But this is where Rory won his first major. Rory's won 4 times here at this golf course. Not they play a normal tour event here.
You got Luke Donald on top right now at 4 under, tied with Alex Norin, Nico Echeverria.
Who's I don't know, Hager's.
Jaeger?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jaeger
I think Ryan Fox won last week. David Puig, Matt Fitzpatrick, he is on live. Rasmus Højgaard, he's at 3 under. His brother is Nicholas. His twin brother is Nicholas.
Yeah, he tees off at 1 o'clock.
Yep. And then, really cool, Keegan Bradley, he is the captain of the Ryder Cup this year. Is it this year or next year? Next year.
Tea time coming at you.
For all the John Rahm is at 2 under.
That was our first show together. Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You did a golf show.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen.
Boy, just wanted to
let me just be fair.
Yeah.
To Tobin. He did his golf show like I do his fighting show. So
same.
I get all the names right. I can break it down, right? Who's good, who's not.
You did it
what
with
country they're from. When they give the first initial and the last name, I can give you the full name.
Well, he did it with our old program director, which was
Todd
years
Castleberry.
before Glenn. It was with Todd Castleberry, and then Castleberry, I think, got let go, and they needed somebody to do tea time.
Okay,
so they're like,
I did it with Stu Gatz a couple of weekends too.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Ah, man. That was something. Those are good times, man.
Time.
Good times.
That was at the
Good
Roach
times.
Motel.
Tell you what, though, maybe you
Yeah,
want to
that's
take your
definitely-
little your golf attire. Maybe it's not as
Oh,
pretty as you
hey.
need it to be.
Hey, I got some new shirts.
You got to get your shirts redone, Leroy. Maybe the sleeves let out. I got the place for you.
I know.
Use our friends over at A&T Dry Cleaners. You know, Ara, he was fired. Let me tell you something. Ara last night texted me, fired up about the Panthers win last night. So he's going to be in a good mood to take care of your laundry today. So why don't you call or text him up today? 954-610-9383. That's 954-610-9383, Leroy.
Been in the business 40 years. Family owned and run. They do same day sewing. Our mother is the seamstress, so you know you're going to get that good motherly care. They pick up, drop off your clothes. Prom season is right around the corner. Weddings. Everybody want the little spring or summer wedding. Look, whatever you need, just give Ara a call. They serve all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, Southern Palm Beaches. And Tobin, tell them what they get if they mention our name.
You mentioned Tobin and Leroy. You're going to get yourself 25% off your order. And I promise you guys, once you use A&T Dry Cleaners, you're never going to want to launder your own clothes again. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy. Hey, Lee Bryce is coming to War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale in September. We got your chance to win tickets. Just keep on listening to our show. We'll give you your cue to call to win. This is a Live Nation show. Miami Dolphins, their schedule gets released yesterday. Open it up right with the teeth of that division schedule. Oh, man. Doesn't it feel like the vibes are all going to be on that Thursday night game, like right away again? Like right away at Buffalo, Thursday night, which, by the way, at least it's not on the cold front, kind of favorable. We got at Pittsburgh on Monday night in December, and then at New England in January. I don't know about at New York in early December. I'm sure it won't feel great, but I don't think it's not frigid. That's an afternoon game. But man, it just feels it feels like every frogginess is going to depend on what they do week 3 at Buffalo on Thursday night with 3 days with a short turnaround from the New England game.
Yeah, but what if we win?
Oh, we could be back.
That's gonna feel
you beat
good.
the Bills, you're gonna feel different.
Yeah.
It's just like,
but don't do the typical Dolphin thing and let that be the only game. Now, like, of the 3, that's the only one you win. So it still gives you that hope of like, maybe if we play right. And then the rest of the season, we're like 8 and 9. And it's like, okay.
I don't know. But
That's what I'm saying. This year, I need it to be either really good or really bad.
You don't want an in-between floater.
Cannot do that because that buys Chris Greer another year. Can't do it.
We got to get into that. We got to get back on the clock here, but it is interesting. Like, you keep hearing all this stuff that comes out, like Jordan Poyer, who I'm not a fan of, had another interview yesterday. Old ayahuasca tag team partner there.
This guy
Did himself a little talk on NFL Network. So we'll get into that and more, but got to take a break. We'll mix things up on the other side.
Cosas que pasan en el barrio, fui.
Man, UD's having a fun day on First Take 2.
Oh, he's going, killing him.
He's having a fun day on First Take 2, dude. Ooh. He's like, this playoff Jimmy, he's good. He's good. He basically hit him with the old man from the poker. And he goes, this playoff Jimmy, he's good. He's no Dwyane Wade.
Nah.
He's no Dwyane Wade.
Nah. Heard this Jeff T.
But even here's the thing. Even old ass D Wade, you never had to worry about what you had to worry about with Jimmy.
Nope.
You know, like I should never have the star of my team. I should never have to wonder whether he's gonna take enough shots.
I was trying to remember, how old was D Wade for his last playoff series? Was he Jimmy's age?
He was a little bit younger. But keep in mind, he had more miles on him.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he had
because he had already been to 5 finals.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, his last playoff year will be what Jimmy was last year. What's Jimmy's going to be this year? Because he was 36 his last playoff year.
Right, but I'm saying, keep in mind, Jimmy went to 2 finals, right?
Yeah.
D Wade had went to 5.
Yep.
And that's not counting the Eastern Conference championships. He went to 1 Eastern Conference championship. The first year was Shaq.
He went to the Eastern Conference. He got hurt that year, but yes.
Right.
He got hurt. He got hurt in that series, but
right.
Yes, no, he's a lot of mileage and bad knees.
And but you never had to worry about you did look, you may have to worry about whether he would make or miss shots or whether he would, but you never had to worry about him
I would say
checking out and taking 5 shots in a game.
Yeah, I would say like there's been some stinkers in D Wade's career, but like
not for lack of effort.
Usually a stinker always came back with a monster, other than like the 14 finals. Like the 14 finals, he was pretty cooked by the end of it. But like you think to like game 3 semis against the Pacers where they go down 2-1, no Chris Bosh. I mean, what him and LeBron did in game 4, oh my God.
Right.
That was like
right, but that's
haymakers.
But that's the thing. Like, we know what it looks like. And Jimmy had success, but it never looked like that.
Well, and also he's just like the jump shot, like the lift on the jump shot, the getting to the paint, like all that shot making wasn't even there. Like it's not like he even went down, like even the last great run and the last 2, like with them losing to Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals and then getting to the finals. Like Jimmy would unveil the 3, he'd start hitting jumpers. Like he really did mix it up. Like, I mean, gave Drew Holiday true nightmares. Remember he screamed in Drew Holiday's face, "I own you."
No one has ever treated Drew Holiday like that.
And it's just like that was 32-33. And I guess just like the wear on 35, 36, just not there.
Yeah,
just not there. That
like,
gear to get there.
But here's the kicker. Everybody told you this. You didn't believe it.
I didn't want to believe it. I didn't
want to, but you did. You kept singing playoff Jimmy.
Oh,
wait till January. Oh, wait till this.
He's not that guy anymore. It makes me sad in some ways. Makes me sad in some ways.
No, you know what? It doesn't make me sad. It's life. It's life in sports. It happens.
I don't want him to be sidekick Jimmy.
Nobody wants him to be.
Right now, he's Cancun Jimmy.
I mean, how you think, like, let's think of it this way. You think Steph is looking at Jimmy going, yeah, he's a number 2.
Schmiethan saying D Wade went at Jimmy last night. Oh yeah, he live streamed afterwards. Is that where he went after Jimmy?
Man, I saw that too. I didn't see.
Did he
it.
really? He gave him the. Yeah. He definitely was not happy with what Jimmy did. There's no doubt about it. Like D Wade will always give his thoughts on Pat and all that, but there was very clearly animosity of like, hey, what are you doing with like what are you complaining about? Like there is a line, even for somebody like Dwayne, who in his last year was making a minimum. He's like, you're making 50 what a year and you're whining, dude? Like, what are you whining about? Like, what's the problem?
Right. That,
Like,
again, he wasn't even whining about what he was making now. It was 2 years from now, while doing nothing that would ever show that in 2 years from now, you're going to be anything near the player to make that money.
Let us get to something Jimmy Butler didn't have last night. A mixed bag.
He had a bag. He had the same bag I pick up my dog's poop with.
Anthony Edwards left a bag of poop on his porch.
Yeah. Steamer. He left a Stanley steamer on the porch.
What do we got today, Froggy?
We have quite the deep bag today. Lots of different things to reflect upon. Since we talked about the Dolphins earlier, we'll start in the NFL. I call this person the frozen tundra. I call this person the steal of the draft. And that is Ollie Gordon II. Is there a difference between junior and the second?
No, but I
think
told
there
somebody,
is a difference.
name your kid the second, then you could call him Deuce.
I think there is a difference, but I'm not quite sure what it is.
Okay. We'll do more research on that. In the meantime, let's get back to Ollie, which rounds out what I call the fastest, most elusive backfield in the NFL between Dwyane Achane, Jalen Wright, and now the newest rookie sensation, Dwyane Achane, described how the rookie is picking things up faster than he did.
It's a lot. Like I said, when you got a lot of rec room that's good and everybody like good at certain areas, it's like kind of hard for a defense guy to key in on one thing. And I seen him play when they cause they had played A&M. That's when I like first seen like him like playing the regular game. And I was like, okay, like he kind of nice. And then when we drafted, I was like, okay, like I feel like he'll help this room, man. And as you and at practice, I feel like he learned it, and he picking up faster than I was. I've been talking to everybody like when I first got here, like I was lost and confused, but he getting it, and he out there and he want to work. So that he in a great room to do it, and I feel like with me being a leader, just showing him the way, and that's something I've been doing.
Whoa.
Oh, you heard him. You heard him. He's a leader.
Hold up.
He's a leader.
Let me collect my thoughts. I'm gonna start with this. I don't care who's in that room. If you're running the same plays, y'all all gonna struggle. Okay? And I've said this before. So this is nothing new. About how the run game and how they need to be more physical with the play calls and not just the runs. Right? Because a running back can adjust. Right? Keep in mind, if you block a play a certain way and your offensive line is physical and they're creating movement and they're stopping the penetration, you can still run outside. So the fact that a run has to be an outside run to go outside, if anybody in football says this, get them the hell out of football. Okay, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. On a side note, I didn't even know what Dwyane Achane sounded like, and now he's a leader?
He's a leader, dude.
We skipped a couple of steps?
I believe he's the elder statesman at year 3. I believe he's the elder statesman of that running back room right now.
That don't mean nothing.
Oh,
I mean, what do you mean?
Here, let me put it this way.
Most touchdowns.
When I got to Minnesota, I was the oldest running back.
How old were you? 26?
25, 26.
Right.
No, but right. I was the oldest running back in the room and had success. But I never considered myself a leader. I helped the young guys.
He does.
Yeah, you were a leader then. You just didn't consider yourself one.
I did what I could to help the young guys, but I'm not out there calling myself a leader. You know what I'm saying? I wanted everybody in my room to have success.
Oh, I want some new leaders.
And I
'cause,
want to
like,
help.
the old leaders stunk.
Not good.
But again,
That's off a ship.
I'm more along. How can I put this? I was always told, if you have to tell somebody how you are or what you are, then you got questions about it yourself. Just show them, right? And let them come to their own conclusions. So, like, he's the oldest guy in the room. He's going to help the young guys, okay? If they want to call him a leader, fine. You just do you. See what I'm saying? But, damn, he just got here. What's his third year?
Third year.
Third year? Third year?
Well, you got Jalen Wright. It's his second year. Ollie Gordon. It's his first. That's the list.
So you
got that other dude. Who's the guy they got from the Raiders? Madison?
Oh, yeah. Good luck.
So you're a leader by default?
Yeah, man. Longest tenure.
I mean, unless you want to consider Alec Ingold a running back. I mean, I don't know how that
Alec
works.
Ingold will be the leader in that room.
Right.
No way. If I'm
He's in the same room, dude.
But if I'm faster than you can't be my leader. Like, what? You
What
were
do you
running
mean?
back.
What do you mean? He's the intangibles. He's there
Hey,
to block you.
wait. Can I just say this, Marcos?
Yeah.
Marcos.
Yes.
I know a whole lot of people, a whole lot of fast people, really fast people sitting at home right now because they can't play a lick of football. So just because a guy is fast don't mean I love when people do that.
So this guy is good at football.
Yeah, you know he is. I'm just saying. Marco said Ingle can't be the leader. He's not fast enough.
Devon Achane, like, come on, touchdown, speed, 3 years. Then Alec Ingle's like, come on, guys.
To be fair to Tyreek Hill did say, like, yeah, we're going to pound the running game with our 5'9", 160-pound running back. Now they got Ollie Gordon, 6'2", 230.
Listen,
yeah.
I did a lot of research on Ollie Gordon, which means
He won the running back of the year his junior year, his second to last year.
If you played college football 25, he's one of them with the star underneath him. That always means he's a good player for sure. That's good. It's good.
What else you got in the mixed bag?
I can't believe I do a show with a guy who bases all of his success on a video game.
So far, so
Just
good.
doing research.
Just, everyone has their own ways. Let's get to a couple delusional people here.
Okay.
In our mixed bag.
With you in Tecmo Bowl, I'm like, wow. I don't know whether to be excited or hurt.
That's impressive. Classic game. Donovan Mitchell, guy who stood us up in South Florida in favor of becoming a Cavalier, says he hasn't slept since being eliminated.
I haven't been asleep yet. Probably watched the game twice. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's just when you accomplish different things throughout the season and you feel like you're right there on the cusp, and then it to end this way is it's tough.
Well,
yeah, I feel I know what it's like to be the number one seed and come up short.
Yeah, they came up way short.
They came way short because they didn't even make it to the championship.
You guys beat up on a 10 seed. Congratulations.
Wow, why are you lashing out at him?
What?
Wow. You lashing out at him. He ain't did nothing wrong. He ain't say nothing wrong. Like, if you want to get on somebody, get on your boy.
What else you got, dude?
I told you we were discussing delusional members in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
This gentleman here has a bold claim as we watch Indiana climb to an Eastern Conference final. The most recent tenure of relevant Indiana basketball players, Paul George.
Oh,
he says if there was no LeBron James, if there was only no LeBron
Had we not
James.
played LeBron James, or there was no LeBron James, we might have had one in Indiana. You know what I mean? I felt the guy on the East. I felt like I was, we played Carmelo, got Carmelo out of there, played a tough Wizards with John and Bradley Beal. Nobody could come through us. Atlanta was a stacked team. Nobody could go through us. And, you know, that was that.
Bro, Roy Hibbert was more of an obstacle than you were for LeBron James.
Can I just say this? Like, I haven't heard Utah complain. We'd have 2 championships if it weren't for Jordan.
Right.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Why
It's
didn't you
ridiculous.
Almost. I mean, look, you guys were great second place in the East, you know? 3 straight years. Tough.
It's amazing how much basketball that man has played.
Paul George or LeBron?
LeBron. I mean, where'd he go to? 8 straight finals? 9?
9?
9 straight finals. Think of just all of that basketball while playing all the time.
I wonder how many years he's got left. I mean, he did suffer what did he suffer? What was it? MCL at the end of the year?
Yes.
He said that was his first knee injury.
Spoiler alert. He's done.
What?
He's done. He's done, dude.
But the thing is that what makes an older player great, right? His game has transformed. And he plays old man basketball with little snippets of young LeBron, right? He's not young LeBron all the time, but every now and then he'll go get a block or he'll take it from coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
But his game now looks like he's playing that old man been in the league long basketball with the mid, turnaround jumpers, the threes and stuff like that. So while some of these guys don't have, I literally believe Jimmy has nothing to go to if he can't play the way Jimmy has played for all these years. It doesn't look at him play. He looks lost sometimes because he can't do what he did when he was younger.
Yeah, and he just looks tired of running into people too. Like he's like, oh, Rudy Gobert's there.
He looks like he came into work this year and play basketball like Wild Thing when he got the big contract. You know what I'm saying? Came up in the limo, had the new haircut.
Yep. We'll take a break. Alex Donno is going to join us next hour. We'll get you caught up with your headlines, including a Cats win. Dolphin schedule is out. More to come here on the show. Back after this.
Midday Sports and Silly Sauce.
Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Let's get the headlines brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose over 1,300 new Hyundai models in inventory, like the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Panthers.
You know who else's birthday is today?
Yes.
Who?
My daughters.
Sophie.
Sophie.
Happy birthday to Sophie and Leroy. Sophie Leroy.
Hey.
Sophie Leroy.
Desmond.
I hope she's on her iPad.
Desmond. Howard.
Desmond Howard's birthday today?
Desmond
Yeah.
Howard's birthday.
And remember Jerron?
It is Jerron's birthday today. I see Jerron all the time at the Heat games.
Yeah. With no dreads.
I know.
First time I saw him without dreads, I had to do a double take.
I walked right by him and I was like,
yes. He was at, you know what? When we went, you know where he was? When we went to Kaseya Center for the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Remember did we broadcast from there one time? Like last year.
Last year we broadcasted there for Media Day.
Yeah. He was there.
Ray
he
Lewis'
does.
birthday today, too.
Ray Lewis's birthday?
Emmett Smith's
birthday. Jamie Lynn Sigler, Meadow Soprano.
Okay.
Her birthday.
All right.
Andy Murray, tennis player.
Ooh, did see
I
that
was a
one.
middle soprano.
Russell Hornsby. No.
Is that the that's just the way it is, guy? No. Yeah.
No. He's an actor.
Chaz Palminteri's birthday. He's still with us.
Oh, is he?
Bronx Tale.
Oh man, I watched that the other day too. Hey. no,
Wait,
okay.
is
you
Chad,
kidding?
does he do the FBI or Criminal Minds?
He might. I don't know. He's 73. He's still with us.
Still with us, huh?
He does Criminal Minds, right?
No use can't leave.
Do you know that was his story? He's the kid.
He's the kid?
He's the kid. He's a Corgelio or
The
whatever.
real kid got in trouble, didn't he? Not the real guy. I'm sorry. The guy who played the kid. Didn't he get in trouble? The actor?
Nah,
I feel like he got in trouble for something.
Probably.
Because then he did a one-man show.
Okay.
One time I got him on the phone for because Sid Rosenberg was like, "Hey, let's get Chaz Palminteri on."
Oh.
And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, here's his number. I want to talk Yankees." And so I called him up.
Yeah.
And he goes, Sid wants to talk Yankees. And I was like, now you can't leave.
Can't leave. It's like, what? Nothing.
I think I still have his number in my phone.
Call him.
No.
Happy birthday. Now you can't leave.
Just say go.
Yes, I have a teenager now. I'm not I'm old as hell.
Oh, 13.
Yeah.
Nope. High school's around the corner.
Good luck.
It is. It is.
I almost have a
Come on,
high school graduate.
Wow, 2
Jeez.
potty trained children.
Wow.
Lucky you.
Other stuff just gets expensive too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Now you're buying
you're gonna
Stanleys.
Yeah, Stanleys instead of Pampers.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna go for you, dude.
Which one's more expensive, is Stanley or Pampers? Because
Pampers.
Yeah, Stanley.
We were just marveling today at like the cost of formula. My wife and I were like, geez, because it was expensive when we were.
Wait a minute. Why are you worried about formula?
We were just because my wife had a friend who's about to have a baby, so she was
Oh, you
like
getting
over baby
formula?
items for a shower. She's like, "Damn, it's like $60 a pop."
I know a guy if you need.
What?
Hey, you know what's crazy?
You got that black
in the stores now, they got to keep the formula locked up.
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh, that's not new.
For sure.
well, I feel like when I was working at Publix many years ago, that was already
They keep it by the cigarettes.
Yeah, but why is the deodorant locked up though? I find that to be strange.
Sometimes some CVSs you go into, everything's locked up.
It's
I'm like,
locked
what?
up.
Yeah.
There's some toothpaste that's locked
Can't
up.
peruse.
Yeah.
I like to peruse. You know, I can't even do that here.
Can't do it.
Marlins, they defeated the Cubs 3-1.
Yeah.
Kyle Stowers hit a couple of ding dongs for the Fish.
It was a good week for South Florida. A good night.
Augustine Ramirez went deep for the Fish as well. His 5th home run for the rookie catcher. So
One guy lost, made South Miami happy.
Yep.
2 teams won.
Jimmy Butler, he has bounced gentleman style. The Wolves, they move on to the Western Conference Finals, awaiting the winner of Nuggets and Thunder. Man, him for Shea would be a fun matchup.
Karen S. $60 for formula. Just give the baby Gatorade.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
It's true.
It's crazy. Adam Schefter.
Oh,
he's reporting. Quote, this is from Barry Jackson's Twitter. There's more interest in Jalen Ramsey than people realize. Trade could be announced in June, potentially. Schefter notes that if a trade happens before, it wouldn't be processed until after June 1st for cap reasons. But apparently, strong market for Jalen Ramsey, who hates Mike McDaniel's guts.
Hates him.
It's weird that your player is more old school than your coach. And that's what it is.
Yeah, it is an odd scenario. It's odd how, like, he feels like he gets everybody into the tent, Mike McDaniel, but then people don't seem to dig it anymore, you know?
Well, here's the problem. So when you first get into football, professional football, the first couple of years you earn your stripes on the field, your work habits, relationships with others, or whatever.
Gotta eat your Frost Flakes, dude.
Then when the young guys come in, right, they got to earn their stripes, right? They got to do whatever it takes to be part of the group.
Gotta be great.
When a coach like Mike comes in and treats everybody the same, it kind of pisses off the older guys who had to earn that. And Mike McDaniel's kind of giving it right away. And I think sometimes that's why the older players have a problem with a coach who doesn't make guys earn the right to be in there, both in the locker room and on the field. And so I could see how a guy like Jalen, who's earned his stripes, might look at somebody else.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. We'll get into a little bit of it coming up because Jordan Poyer had some things to say yesterday on the NFL Network. But we got to take a break because I want to get into a little bit of Canes. It's a fascinating story with them getting the number one recruit in the country. Now there's a lot of whining going on about how the Canes are doing business. So I'll talk to our guy, Alex Donno from Locked On Canes. And, of course, here on the WQAM post-game broadcast, we'll talk to our guy, Alex Donno, coming up next. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Celebrating a Panthers victory today. Celebrating Jimmy Butler getting bounced today. And we are familiar with the petty. We love the petty. And it appears we have some petty crimes going against our beloved Miami Hurricanes. So we turn to an expert, a man who hosts the Locked On Canes podcast. You can hear him here on WQAM on the Canes postgame show. He is Alex Donno, a Canes lifer, joining us on the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com. Donno, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, Tobin, and I'm also petty. You and I have a lot in common in that area, so seeing Jimmy bounce brought a smile to my face, and seeing the Florida Panthers not only beat Toronto last night, but they took their souls. Like, the Maple Leafs were completely lifeless throughout that entire game, and man, 6-1. I hope we beat those fools 8-0 tomorrow night in the elimination game.
Well, Donno, it could have been 6-0 the game beforehand. Yeah. I mean, they just got some stellar goalie play. So that's kind of what happened. And there's a reason why he's your backup goalie. Let's be clear that he has moments, but he's not going to play on a consistent basis night in and night out.
Yeah, no, that's true. And hopefully he's so shell-shocked after giving up 6 goals the other night that he'll give up 36 next time.
So, Donno, we're very excited this week. Your boots on the ground with everything with the Canes and all that. Jackson Cantwell, top recruit. I'm following your Twitter account as this is all going, and I can't believe the belly aching that is going on because the Miami Hurricanes landed a good player. Can you take us a little bit into the drama of this? The Canes land this stud, and like all hell breaks loose with other team fan bases whining because the Miami Hurricanes got him.
Yeah, I mean, in Miami, as other schools have, but Miami has been recruiting Jackson Cantwell literally for over a year, if not multiple years. So it's not as if, they woke up a couple days ago or a couple months ago and said, okay, we need to have this guy. Let's offer him a few million or something like that. So, and there were times, even a month ago when people thought, hey, Miami is the prohibitive favorite to land Cantwell, who's a behemoth offensive tackle, 6'8", 325 pounds. He's the top player in the class of 2026. And so like there was a time about a month ago when it looked like this is going to be a Miami player, right? But then, as things often do when you follow recruiting for high school kids, the trends seem to be changing, right? There was a time, it looks like Oregon's the favorite. And then for a couple weeks before his actual announcement, it looked like Georgia was the big favorite. But then like a couple hours before he announced, he started to get the leaks that, hey, it's probably going to be Miami. And he did indeed choose Miami. And so it's one of these belly aches that have become, and complaints that have become more and more common in this day and age in college football. And you especially hear this a lot from SEC fans. And it's ironic because NIL was kind of a thing in the SEC before it was legal. And now that the level, that the playing field has been leveled a little bit, they don't seem to like it. The teams can legally drop bags to land players. And so, yeah, from the moment Jackson Cantwell picked Miami, there became an argument very loud from the Georgia fans and from certain national media members. The narrative became, well, he clearly picked Miami for the money, that this was a money move. He chose the bag. And Tobin and Leroy, I'm not saying Miami didn't give him a great monetary offer. I'm sure they did. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because when it's legal, you pay what you can to get the best possible players to your program. But I can also tell you, with what I know about Jackson Cantwell, this guy is not going to make a decision strictly based on that, the relationships he's been developing for months, if not years, with Mario Cristobal and Alex Mirabal. And he was going to be a millionaire wherever he went, right? So he decided to take the proven offensive line coaching, the comfort level he had with Miami, who he had mentioned throughout his process. He didn't hear from anybody more than he heard from Mario Cristobal, head coach, who's kind of your second offensive line coach, and Alex Mirabal, the offensive line coach. And I guess it didn't help that On3 Sports published a story late last week where they like mentioned, oh, Miami, we heard is offering him, $2 million or north of $2 million. They didn't mention any numbers for any other school. So it already kind of planted that money narrative. And so I think the problem that people on the Miami side have with this narrative, and the problem that Jackson Cantwell should have with this narrative, is anytime Miami lands a big time player, they always throw out there, look at this big NIL offer. It's all about money, money, money when Miami lands a player. Had Oregon, who also bought, Oregon is probably the biggest NIL spender, by the way, or Georgia landed him, it would have been, he chose this great program. He's going to play for Kirby Smart or Dan Lanning. So I think that's the issue people have, is anytime Miami lands somebody, it's all about money. And then the last thing I'll say before I'll let you ask me another question, I've been ranting and raving for a while here, but the last thing I'll say on this is, if you're going to bring up this narrative that Jackson Cantwell would only choose Miami for an NIL offer, I could at least halfway entertain that argument if this guy played any other position. But you're talking about an offensive lineman who wants to be developed by the guys who developed Penei Sewell and the guys who are currently developing CeCe Maui-Noah, who has a chance to be a first-round draft pick next year. If he played any other position, I could at least allow you to carry on this money narrative. But for an offensive lineman who says he sees himself best fitting in Miami, I don't know why you would argue that, considering the type of O-line coaching Miami has.
I can tell you why, Donno. And here's what it is with the SEC. For so long, Alabama, Georgia, Clemson could sit at a kid's table and put their rings on the table, right? And say that what you're getting when you come here are all these excellent things, right? But keep in mind, when Nick Saban left, he said, we don't have enough money. They have it. They're just not putting it out there. And now you have these other schools that are saying, oh, we acknowledge your rings and we can't use that. How about an extra mil? And they have a problem with that because for so long, their dominance over the sport was, I'm going to just put my rings on the table. And now they can't do that. Now you can't go in to a kid's house and only talk about your storied franchise or your storied history. Because to be honest with you, kids don't give a damn about that.
Yeah.
And they have a problem with that. That's why more schools like LSU, who have a good program, but they can't be throwing it around like Alabama or Clemson or Georgia, right? You have schools like Ole Miss throwing money at it, right? So it's not just Miami, but it fits because it's one of the guys they thought they were going to get.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on with that. And, I know it's something that Cantwell talked about. He even actually, which I thought was kind of saucy on his part, he was doing some interviews right after he made his announcement. And he even he brought up Pete Nakos of On3 by name. He called him out because that was someone who wrote an article late last week who was like, oh, well, Miami's offering him $2 million. And he says players often commit to Georgia for the Georgia discount. It's so noble to go to Georgia for less money. So it's I don't know how much money Georgia offered. I don't even know how much money Miami offered. It's all rumors and hearsay, right? Because they don't publish the NIL numbers. But so if Georgia, hypothetically, because a lot of Georgia fans are saying this, if Georgia offered Jackson Cantwell literally half of what Miami offered, you're really going to shame the young man for choosing to make double the money at a place where he knows he can get developed. It's I mean, Leroy, if you were a free agent in the job market and you were offered $500,000 to do one job and then a full $1 at the other, and you were going to be happy at either spot, should they shame you for choosing to make the $1 million over the $500,000? I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous.
That's the thing I'm talking about, Donno. They're sitting here talking oh, how dare you turn down Georgia, no matter what we offer you. It's Georgia, right?
Is it true, Donno? Is it true they knocked him down the rankings after this happened? That's that's the thing that people did.
Well, here's the thing, man, and I had some because factually, yes, that did happen, Tobin. to be fair, because I upset some people when I was angrily tweeting about this last night. He was, yes, they updated the 24/7 Sports recruiting rankings yesterday, the day after Cantwell committed, and he dropped, I guess he was number 3 overall on that service, and they dropped him from 3 to 10. And like, I don't think anything's changed. Like, he hasn't played football in like 5 or 6 months, so I don't know how they just decide to drop him. But I was ranting about it, and I was told, and I'm going to assume this is factually correct, that they actually filed this change. It just didn't come into effect till yesterday. This change was filed several days before he committed. So even if he had committed to Georgia or Oregon, he still would have dropped 7 spots. Now, obviously,
sounds convenient.
You know, I got my tinfoil hat with me because it is convenient. Because I got this us against the world mentality when it comes to Miami. Like, it's very convenient how every time Miami lands a 5-star player, they knock him down a peg. But supposedly this one is just an awful coincidence.
All right. If they say so. Well, here's another one that got kind of crazy this summer because it was cool. We saw Carson Beck starting to throw, so that's good news. So, but like, he signs with the Canes naturally after they get the number 1 quarterback drafted. Another crazy decision that he would make. But then all of a sudden, everybody's belly aching about how much the Canes paid him, and they're like, "Oh, he ruined the market for everybody. Tennessee's quarterback is leaving," and I'm like, how in God's name is that the Canes' fault? I'm trying to figure this stuff out, Donno.
I mean, because again, people the same way, back to Leroy's point, like, people just cannot believe a player would choose Miami over Georgia. Carson Beck already did that. And I know, like, there's a lot of narrative changing happening in Athens where Georgia fans will say, "Oh, this guy, he sucks. We never actually wanted him to play for us again. He's terrible. Gunnar Stockton, that's the truth. Carson Beck, old damaged goods. We don't want him here." That's the narrative there now. My understanding is, like,
they didn't want him.
Not, including Kirby Smart, did not want him to leave. Like, Kirby Smart did not want Beck to leave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my understanding. And but again, whether they wanted him to leave or not, the idea of going from Georgia to Miami, people can't believe it. They can't fathom it. And then you throw in the NIL, the alleged NIL money as well. And yeah, listen, as far as Carson Beck goes, it's just unfortunate him coming off of that injury. He's healthy now, but with him coming off of the elbow injury, he wasn't able to participate in spring football fully. Like, he was out there, he just wasn't able to throw, which is a pretty big part of what he does, but he was out there working and stuff. But I've seen him throw in person. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet because he hasn't been available to the media because he was injured. But he is throwing now. He's been cleared to throw for the past several weeks. And my understanding, I've heard that they're going to start having the player run practices on Monday. So he's going to be able to be throwing with his teammates in the next couple of days. And, Cam Ward is special and irreplaceable, but I think Miami going out and getting somebody like Carson Beck with his experience level, his proven production on the field, I think is a really good move. And, I don't necessarily think Miami's going to have the number 1 offense in the country again, but if the defense is no longer embarrassing,
I was gonna follow up with that, Donald. Like, give us a big picture, your thoughts before we even get to camp. Do you feel like it's fixed? Because, man, that was so frustrating by the end of last year to be spotted a 21-0 lead and feel like you have no hope. Do you feel like they've done enough, hopefully, to plug some of this up?
I mean, I don't know how much else they could have done, like, in terms of offseason moves, right? I mean, they changed defensive coordinators because it was clearly not working under Lance Guidry last year. I like the guy that they hired, Corey Heatherman, who kind of worked a miracle in Minnesota last year. They were 69th in total defense before he took over. Then he got them into the top 10 in just 1 year last year. And a lot more aggressive and a lot more direct, like his defensive philosophy. The players seem to like it. Miami's players who were, learning the system during spring football. So I think the defensive scheme is going to suit them better. So that's one thing. And then, Miami went wild in the transfer portal when it came to trying to bring in new players. Like, the only position group that they just weren't able to get too much in because there wasn't a lot of quality available is defensive tackle. They did get one pretty good player back in the first transfer portal window, David Blay from Louisiana Tech, who had had a couple good seasons there and had a good spring with Miami, but so many new faces in the defensive secondary. And I think Xavier Lucas from Wisconsin, a cornerback, Zechariah Poyser, a safety from Jacksonville State, who was a stud there the last couple of years. And I also like the safety from Tennessee, Jacoby Thomas, that they brought in, and Keontae Scott, a nickel from Houston. And a lot of the players they're bringing in were coached in previous spots by Miami defensive coaches, like where they were before, including, I think one of the guys who could make a really big impact is linebacker Mohamed Toure from Rutgers, who was coached because Corey Heatherman, who's the new DC 2 years ago, he was the linebackers coach at Rutgers, and Toure had his best season then under Heatherman. So honestly, if the defense isn't like dramatically better, and you don't set a very high bar from last year, but if they're not dramatically better than where they were last year, I think you have to start feeling like, hey, we're cursed, and Mario just can't find the right defensive coordinator, because they've done about all they possibly can to go out there and make that defense. I don't know if they're going to be top 10 necessarily, but if you have a top 25 defense and then maybe a top 25 offense this year, I think they could end up having more success on the field.
Hey, so Donno, let me ask you this, because I think a lot of people are the offense is going to look different because Carson Beck is not Cam Ward. But is it going to be different because Carson Beck isn't as good, or is it going to be different because Carson Beck plays the position differently and it's going to probably take a little bit of time to for the team to find his sweet spot?
All the above. And also, it's going to look different because his weapons are a lot different from what Ward had. Something that Cam Ward had the benefit of last year was a more experienced receiver core. Now, Miami has a couple of experienced guys, but they brought him in as transfers, like C.J. Daniels and Keelan Marion and Tony Johnson, like the ones who were returning from last year. Jojo Trader, who I think has a potential to blow up this year, but he was a true freshman last year who didn't play a whole lot, but he's a former blue chip guy out of high school. Elijah Lofton, the tight end, is going to try to kind of do what Elijah Arroyo did last year. He's a different player. He's more of like a Swiss Army knife type of guy, but really productive. So I think, and again, like all the reasons you stated, I think are why the offense is going to look different. But then another one is it's Miami's offense. I don't believe is going to be nearly as pass heavy, but part of that I believe is going to come from assuming your defense is better. You're not going to be in shootouts every week, because that was a thing last year. And, Miami had the perfect shootout guy. It was like having Wild Bill Hickok or something in Cam Ward, because you spot that guy a 21-point deficit and say, Ward, we got to throw every down from here on out. Giddy up. Like he was built for that. But if you can actually play with some leads this year, you can get your running game a little bit more involved, because like Miami's running game last year, it was really good. But they didn't have the opportunity to reach their full potential, because I look there's a disconnect here, because Miami was number 6 in the country in yards per carry, but they were 31st overall in rushing. So like the yards per carry being almost top 5 didn't really match up with your overall running game not being in the top 25. And it's because they didn't have an opportunity to run the ball as much as they would like to. So I think that's going to be a part of it as well. And actually one of the transfers that I'm really excited about that Miami brought in is a running back who played at North Dakota State, Chamar Brown. Now, North Dakota State, I know it's in the FCS, but that's like the Alabama Crimson Tide of the FCS. They win the championship every year. And they had a guy drafted in the first round of the NFL this year. So it's a different level of FCS program. And this dude, Marty Brown, they call him Marty, had 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns last year. He helped them win the FCS national championship. So I think he's going to be great in a rotation with Mark Fletcher and Jordan Lyle. So I think Miami probably by design, and this is not to take anything away from Carson Beck, because he just wants to win in any context, but be able to run the football a little bit more. And, if your weapons like in the receiving game are not as dynamic as what Ward had last year, I think Miami can make up for some of that with the running game.
He's Alex Donno. Go check out the Locked On Canes podcast, as in-depth as you can get with your Miami Hurricanes. He bleeds orange and green. Donno, thanks so much for the time, man. Really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Go Panthers.
Thanks, Dono.
All right, we'll take a break, play a little Goosies. No Goosies. That's next. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin. Leroy here with you. It is Leroy's birthday today.
Yeah.
That gives me the Goosies.
Yeah.
Let us find out what else is Goosies or no Goosies. That is the game we play on Thursday. What do you have for us today here, Frog Boy?
Goosies
for Leroy's birthday. So
more like Goosies galore, by the way.
For Leroy's birthday, that's right. We'll give him Goosies galore. I mean, if he would have been here, it would have been Goosies galore. But it's fine.
He's not there, so it would have made a difference.
Let us start with old Jimmy Butler. D Wade yesterday, after witnessing the piss poor performance from play ass Jimmy.
Wow.
I like
that. I was kind of scared of the dump button for a second.
Wait, you hush, potty mouth.
This is
we don't give preemptive dump button comments.
There's a full arsenal of F-bombs.
Yes.
She was angry on Leroy's behalf, though.
I was, yeah.
Let's hear what D Wade had to say about Jimmy Butler.
Hey, number 10. And number 10 in Golden State, if you can hear me, do something.
Let's get it, man.
Do something. At first I was like, number 10, who's number 10, number 10, number 10, number 10. Then I realized.
Yeah. That gives me the Goosies.
Oh,
man.
Calling
Goosies.
Do
something.
That's great.
Hey, there's a lot of people out there that are shocked at what they saw. I'm not. I've been saying this for a while now, but the fact that his BFF on social media is calling him out goes to show you that there's a lot of people who thought this, right? There's a lot of there's nothing more than an athlete who's been through the thick of it wants to hear other than this. Oh, that guy can turn it on when he wants to. That's an insult to guys like D Wade, and you could go with even LeBron, right? It's an insult to say, oh, I can turn it on and dominate when I want to, because there's gonna come a day, and that day is here. I wonder what UD was thinking.
Oh, funny you should ask that, Leroy.
Ooh. Guys like Kobe, like I can turn it on when I want to.
So you got the Goosies or no Goosies?
Where I got the Goose what D Wade said.
Goosies. Jennifer?
Easy Goosies for me.
Goosies. Frog Boy?
Goosies.
What else we got? Play Frog Jimmy?
Okay.
Udonis Haslam.
Oh,
there you go, Leroy. That's what you wanted. He goes at Jimmy Butler.
From this standpoint alone, last year they were in 10th. They didn't make the playoffs. This year they started off in 10th when they got Jimmy. They made the playoffs. I would say it worked out from that perspective. But what I'm going to say about Jimmy is, as great as Jimmy is, the playoff Jimmy thing has put Jimmy Butler in a conversation with guys that maybe are a little bit above Jimmy Butler. And sometimes the expectations of Jimmy Butler are the playoff Jimmy Butler expectations all the time. And that might not necessarily be who Jimmy Butler is. Jimmy Butler is a very talented basketball player, but he'll tell you, I'm not the most talented. I'm not the fastest. He is a smart guy. He preys on weaknesses and mistakes. We got to give credit where credit's due to Minnesota. McDaniels was on him. Ant-Man was on him. Randall was on him. He's not a shooter. He needs to get in the paint. When you get in the paint, we have the number one shot blocker and rim protector on him. I think Jimmy Butler gave what he gave, but Jimmy Butler didn't have any more to give against that team. And that's where you see the differences between other guys and Jimmy. Because I've seen guys guard LeBron, and no matter what you do, he gets his. I've seen guys guard D-Wade. No matter what you do, he gets his. Jason Tatum, he gets his. Jaylen Brown, he gets his. Those guys get theirs no matter what you do. Jimmy Butler's not that unstoppable guy like those guys.
Okay, I hear you, but now backtrack me. What was your expectation once this trade happened? Because did it live up to the...
I was on the other side of the trade, so you want to hear what my expectation was?
Tell me.
I wouldn't give a damn what he did over there. I was worried about the side of the trade that we got.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I love that guy.
Let me tell you something. Hold on. Let me break this down for you. Say it with your chest, UD. Say it with your chest. Right? Now, that's how you respond if you're on the Heat side of things. You see what I'm saying? It ain't nothing about Frosty. The people here do not have a problem with Jimmy playing for Golden State. Most of the people here have a problem with what he did before he left. That's it. And they always going to be bitter about that. And D-Wade going to be bitter about that because that was never nothing D-Wade did. UD, you know UD definitely going to be bitter about something like that. So that's where it is right there.
So you got the Goosies?
About UD? Oh, yeah. Come on.
Goosies galore.
Come on,
Jennifer?
that made him happy on his birthday. That is Goosies galore.
Yeah.
Goosies
I fell asleep
galore.
before that stuff came out. I would have still been awake.
That was Goosies on top of Goosies.
Oh, yeah.
On top of Goosies. On top of Goosies.
Hey, like my cake sitting in there. Like my birthday cake.
Froggy?
No Goosey. No, I'm just gonna be honest. He had me and he mentioned Jason Tatum. I mean, Jason Tatum, bit of a smudge.
I think he
on
did
it.
that to rub the salt in the wound a little bit.
Well, look, he didn't get an A+ from me just because that. You got an A. You got an A. So I'll say Goosies.
The simple Goosies.
Goosies.
What's number 3?
Number 3 on the list is. I already know how this is going to go. Paul Maurice.
Oh, I love him.
Love that guy.
Right, Paul Maurice.
I mean,
Talking
what can you
about
say?
the number 1 focused man in the entire world, arguably, Sergei Bobrovsky. The man has found a groove. And Paul Maurice can't help but notice it.
I think Sergei is always available to get into a groove. I think his prep doesn't change. Right, the scorer, he has no idea about his stats. It's not how he. But I think recently, and it was true in the latter half of the Tampa series, the guys in front are playing a game he understands, that he has history with this year. He's had stretches this year where the shot total wasn't big for him. He never got warmed up in the game. He didn't get a bunch of outside angle shots that let him feel good about his game as a breakaway. Not a ton of them, so he's kind of trained himself with the style of game that we play, other than the breakaways, which is a silly thing to say. He has a fairly consistent expectation of what's going to happen next. I don't know if it makes saving the puck any easier for him. His anticipation then becomes very good.
Man. When he gets those breakaways, dude, and he just stones.
Dude, you know how I feel about those things.
I jump out of my seat when that happens. I love that. I'm just like, man, it's just you one-on-one. Boom, stoned.
Backhand feed to Riley. Put down and around the end boards. Nate Schmidt got blasted by Pacioretty. Didn't get the clear. Tavares tried a between-the-legs pass for Pacioretty. That didn't connect. Out to the far point. It's Oliver Ekman-Larsson for Toronto. Long shot tipped and a save made by Bobrovsky. Juggles and he holds.
Man, I love him. Goosies galore for Bob.
She's so focused at all.
Yep.
Goosies galore.
I definitely have Goosies. And I've said it too. One of the reasons, another reason why it is so much fun to follow this team is that coach has been consistent and hasn't wavered in how he talks about the team, up, down, or whatever, since day one. Right? Now, he might be a tyrant behind closed doors, but you wouldn't know it. I mean, the worst thing I heard him say is punitive skate, and I started shaking because it sounds like it's the end of the world. Did we ask? I think we asked Mikolo about that, right? Who do we? No, we asked Gus.
Gustav Forsling.
I was about to say
They have a
not
similar
interview.
look, I would say, although Nico.
No.
looks a little-
We interviewed them both. I didn't remember which one we
interview.
asked.
We never did.
Oh wait, who do we interview? We interviewed Gus and we interviewed.
No, but that is my plan. Is if we're
Mackie.
I'm asking.
Mackie.
I'm asking for Nico Mikula because now I'm going to ask to please put a bucket of fish next to him so he's in a
Yes,
good
for
mood for the
sure.
interview.
Oh wait, so we could just grab one and feed him as we go.
After he answers every question, thank you.
Do you think it's rude to ask him if he compares his game to a polar bear on skates? Is that a rude thing?
No,
I don't think
you're
it's rude at
basically
all.
saying
I think you're
basically
complimenting
saying
him.
that a guy who spent his whole life in hockey can't skate.
Yeah.
No, he.
Although Peter Ruel couldn't skate.
I mean, he's not like he's not a figure skater. Like he's going to go ram somebody into the ice. But a real piss whistle, dude.
Hey,
I'll tell you that much.
Can I just say this?
There were some fights
I'm
where
not
he's just
messing with
standing there like, this is boring.
Right.
Or is this all you can do?
And just like his menacing accent, he's just like, yeah, I would like it.
My favorite was when Greer asked the official. So get him punched in the face. This is okay, right? You're not gonna call it on
good?
me. We're good. We're good. When dude just gave him a little half piece, like just a little.
We'll take a break. More to come here on the show. Back after this.
QAM broadcast.
Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. Now, Leroy, I know you're used to wearing a birthday suit on your birthday, but you got your interview shirts on?
What?
You have your interview shirt handy. Our boy Toby.
We got a little replay.
Got a little something going on. If you guys missed it, you'll have an opportunity a little bit later this hour to enjoy Alex Donno. And
hey, it's too hot for all them clothes.
It is, right?
Jennifer.
It was already fluffy. Now you got a shirt on?
Yeah.
No, you know what's crazy? He was shaking last night. He was so cold.
How old is Scooby?
He's 8.
Yeah, the old like to shake.
That's true.
It's like,
you know what? I'm going to read what Schmeaton said earlier. The old like soft cake.
No, the old just like cake. Like,
oh, yeah, we're back.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Hey, Smeathan, dumbass.
No.
When the last time you had a piece of hard cake?
Yeah, that's true. That's usually.
If you like
he said it was denture friendly.
Okay.
Denture friendly.
What kind of cake you having?
No, Schmeathan just said the old like soft cake because this has been a lash fest since.
So here's what I have. I'm having German chocolate cake.
Of course.
Made by Teaspoon.
Love
who's
that.
been making it since she was about 7.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Perfected the recipe from what you said.
Let me tell you.
Had to work through
Top
that.
notch.
Them early years.
Great.
So what you might get an eggshell or something like that in your cake. Teaspoon made it. You eating it.
Yeah, for
You got to be polite.
Then they got actually pretty good. So I'm excited to, German chocolate cake is my favorite cake because of, second is red velvet.
Oh, I love red velvet.
But here's the problem. I don't like that cream, the icing.
Yeah, that cream cheese icing.
What do we feel about ice cream cake?
Oh, hey, listen.
No,
I love
don't,
ice cream cake.
I don't like the
Ice
I
cream
don't
cake.
like that what do they call that icing? Just the regular
Buttercream.
Buttercream. I don't like buttercream icing.
Buttercream can kick rocks as far as the rankings of cakes. Like it's nothing
Right.
against
So
it.
no,
It's
but I'm
just
saying
like,
cakes that have that icing. Like I know there's cream cheese icing on red velvet, but it's still like it's in the same family as that. That's why I like German chocolate cake. German chocolate cake. There's
Wow,
no.
it's a good thing I didn't bring your cake today because I was.
Red
Oh,
velvet.
and you were just gonna go.
Cream cheese icing.
You could do chocolate, right?
Wait, but it was a bundt cake. I was gonna bring you a bundt cake.
Oh, bundt cake, yeah.
But you like the red velvet one, right?
Yeah, I like the red velvet. I like the red velvet bundt cake.
But what you said you weren't going in, so I was like, never mind.
I know because I know I could. Hey, by the way,
okay,
I got up at 5 this morning.
I know.
To start my journey.
What cake's gonna make you sleepy?
And then I didn't, and here's what I didn't realize. Okay. I didn't realize it was going to take as long as it did to get there. And I thought when I got there at 7:30, it was going to be a line. But then I realized that it was Barney Fife building. They had jail, police, fire department.
Tumbleweed at one point.
They had tax collector and DMV all in the same building.
Howdy.
Yeah. But that's what I thought it was going to be like. But the ladies weren't like when they were coming into work. I mean, they were looking at me like I was, they looked at me like, you ain't from these parts, huh? You here all early.
Wait, from these streets.
Yeah.
You think we haven't found this move before? You ain't from here. Probably from the 954, eh? We know about their DMV.
No, you do not. Like, listen, what place in the world is it easier to drive an hour and 20 minutes to do the same thing that can be done around the corner, come back and get it done quicker?
That's something, dude. I don't know.
Like,
That's
what
crazy.
the hell are we doing, DMV?
Why do we, I guess you can't do IDs online. Yeah. Like,
No, I usually I have. I have. I don't know why. I think I couldn't have
think you
did it.
can, but you can't like have a new picture or something like that.
No, here's what I think happened. I waited too long. I think you have to do it before a certain period of time. Because when they said, "Oh, you don't have the star," when I got to the DMV, I had the star on my I had it on my
Your ID.
my
There's like a new star in the right corner of your ID.
Yes. I already had it. I didn't even realize that I had it.
Yeah, I checked mine too.
Oh,
I
you
didn't
don't have that
realize
star?
either.
I think the last time that I got
You
my
ain't come back.
I think the last time that I got my license, I think I went to Hialeah.
Oof.
Nice.
That's not real. This guy's going to El Salvador.
But wait. So question.
Mhm.
Did you have to check English?
I think I booked it online. Like you could still book appointments back then, and that's how I got. I still have.
You can book
You
appointments.
can only book appointments.
This ain't the real.
What?
You can only book appointments.
Headlines are brought to us by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai models in inventory. The Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Been talking about some Petty Kane stuff. We have some more, actually. Brett McMurphy. What's the Action Network these days?
Oh, Brett.
He said Miami's Mario Cristobal. I think they're doing ACC meetings right now. I think that's what's going on. Yeah, like they.
Okay, because
they all have
I'm
to
thinking
meet about
isn't they
rules.
do it? So then, are we gonna have the ridiculous Big Ten meeting when the UCLA coach says nothing?
Those are media days. I don't know when those.
Oh,
are.
media day. Okay,
Those are
that's why I'm
media-
getting confused.
These are kind of just like their meeting. I think about rules and how much money they have. I don't know. But Miami's Mario Cristobal said that he spoke to, quote, 1 million people about #1 draft pick Cam Ward, except one. Quote, I can't recall many NFL teams or TV people I didn't speak to. However, Cristobal and OC Shannon Dawson never spoke with ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr., who was criticized for overshadowing Ward's moment with his nonstop Colorado QB Shedeur Sanders narrative. Quote, never heard from him, Cristobal said. I don't think I ever talked to him. Cristobal added that he wasn't disappointed by Kiper ignoring Ward. Quote, the only reason I would be disappointed was if Cam Ward was. But knowing Cam, he just wanted to hear his name and exactly where he was going and get to work.
Want me to tell you what that's called?
Hmm?
In some ways, it's called plausible deniability. So if you only talk to Shedeur and you have a glaring impression of him, then there's going to be nothing to contradict that because you never talk to anybody else. You understand what I'm saying?
Mel Kiper has responded.
Ooh, let's go. Let's go, Big Blue.
Mario Cristobal claims he spoke to 1 million people about Cam Ward, yet the one he didn't speak to, being me, had Ward ranked higher, 6 on my big board, than any other draft experts. Interesting, isn't it?
What?
Oh, and by the way, I didn't speak to Dion about Shedeur either. I need another orange crush after this nonsense.
Shut up, Mel. Sick of this guy. Sick of him. This guy all draft. Shedeur. Now wants to be like, well, he was number 6 on my big board. You take your big board and you shove it. Okay.
Wow.
Sick of that guy.
Hey, you guys.
You Tobin, you've known me long enough.
Yep.
What do I think about all this draft crap?
Hate it.
Hate it. I hate it for this reason. Because the only thing any of these grown-ass adults can do is hurt the chances of a guy getting drafted with all of your nonsense, right? That's it. That's all you could do is hurt a kid's chances. Let everybody else, let the professionals figure out who they're going to draft and don't say nothing.
Gonzalez's orange crush. This guy stuck in the 90s.
Like, what are you doing?
I haven't seen a lot of people crush an orange crush recently. Maybe a sun-kissed.
I tell you what.
Does that still exist, Sunkiss?
I told you I almost stopped off in a Little Caesars because
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to try that peach. I
It's your
don't even,
birthday, dude. You should.
I don't even know. I don't even drink Mountain Dew. But
just
for
wanna eat a
some
world?
reason, That mango orange or mango peach Mountain Dew sounds delicious.
Country artist Lee Brice is coming to War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale in September. If you guys want to go, caller number 5 right now.
Sing us a song.
05.
Lee, my name is Lee.
No, you know this song.
Bryce Lee.
Hard to love.
Hey.
Oh, he sings Hard to Love?
Hard to Love.
Yeah,
I'm hard to love, hard to love. Hey, the Panthers
Don't
kick
make
the
it.
ass.
Yeah.
Hey, play us some wait,
Coming back?
wow, Smeathan, you ain't letting up. Leroy's whole ass wait for some prune flavor Mountain Dew.
If you guys want Lee
something
Brice
at you.
tickets, caller 5 to 305-567-0560 will win a pair of tickets. It's a Live Nation show. We'll take a break. Back after this.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore
And I only pray when I ain't gotta pray.
The best dessert and country music singer there is, Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Really?
Welcome back, everybody.
Really?
It's Tobin and Leroy with you. And it's neither my favorite breakfast nor is it my favorite country music.
Yeah, I hate jelly.
You don't like jelly rolls?
They're fine. They're just not my favorite. They're not my favorite.
I don't like jelly donuts. And
What is your favorite?
The most disgusting donut in the world.
Don't do
and
it.
I'm gonna just say this.
Don't do it.
One guy we used to work with, it was his favorite. And when I tell you what kind of donut, any donut filled with cream. Boston
come
cream,
on.
chocolate cream.
Get out
No.
of here. It's the best donut.
You know why it's the best, right?
Okay.
Intangible filled.
Okay.
That's why we call it Boston cream.
All right. It really is the best.
How much did Boston love the Luke Cornett game last night?
Oh my goodness.
What a throwback. This is amazing. We got more. And listen, I love Tatum, but we got more Pritchard than the Luke Cornett. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. He was, what did he have, 7 blocks yesterday? What was he, Alonzo friggin' Mourning yesterday?
No, he was out there like Akeem the Dream.
What else going on?
I was surprised too because someone texted me like, "Wow, Porzingis having a hell of a game," and I look at the box score; he has 1 point, and I'm like, "How? Then how are they winning by this much?" The Luke Cornett.
Something's really wrong with Porzingis, and it has been all year.
Yeah,
like he has some kind of virus or something.
I don't know. He also did take like an elbow to the top of the head or something like that.
No, that was who took an elbow to the head? That was Hart.
Oh, dude, that was crazy. I saw that on Twitter when the Panthers game was going on.
Look, he got hit in the head with an elbow by Luke Cornett. Is it Luke?
Luke Cornett.
He got hit in the head by Luke Cornett. And before he hit the ground, there was blood everywhere.
Yeah.
That face. Knicks, they got smoked yesterday, 127-102. Hey. Don't lose.
Hey.
Don't
Hey. You know.
I don't like your sound for it though.
Why?
No, yours is fine. Like, all of a sudden,
but
I'm not
his
looking-
is slowly squeaking.
Yes, it's not all the way. It's not full.
It's not how it works in hockey. In hockey, it's immediate. Like, as soon as Ekblad scores, every cheek goes squeaky in the midst of Toronto. Now, a lot of them left because they couldn't even bear the sight.
You know what the best picture in the world was?
What?
When they went outside. Let's take a look outside.
Did you see the pic? There was one picture I saw on Twitter today of Matthew Tkachuk just smiling off the bench, and behind him is just nothing but empty seats.
Yeah.
Like everybody. It's like he left destruction.
Hey, you knew this was the segment that Vlad was waiting for. You see him? Relax. We are relaxed, Vlad. Because you know what? However this turns out, we win.
It's a can't lose. It's a house money series.
But I'm saying, if it gets to a game 7, and Tobin will tell you this, regardless of what team was up 3-1, I say if you let yourself get to a game where anything can happen, that's on you. Now, if you fight back to get there, I'm going to say anything can happen. But if you had a 3-1 lead and the other team comes back and you have something like they make 15 threes in the first half, that stuff happens and it's your own doing.
We got all our intangibles ready to go. Sam Hauser. I don't care what kind of movie stars you put there. Intangibles will come to play. Blocks for Cornett. He was a plus 20. Gee.
He went 5 for 5 and 9 rebounds. Flirting with the triple-double.
Who left earlier, the Heat fans or Leaf fans? Well, they at least waited around until the third period.
I was actually shocked.
And they started leaving during the second period.
I was there for the 55-point ass kick. I was surprised how many fans didn't leave. I was like, why aren't you all leaving? I was expecting by halftime it was going to be rats off a ship. And I think people just wanted to see, like, I guess we're gonna just stick around for the misery.
Yeah, we bought the tickets. Those aren't cheap
Yeah,
tickets.
they are not cheap tickets.
So I'm gonna stick around and watch.
But I was genuinely surprised how many people stuck around for that just throttling that they took from the Cavaliers.
I think the Heat are gonna listen.
By the
to
way,
you now.
Toronto is very expensive.
Toronto, the city?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Very expensive.
Expensive ass kicking they witnessed last night. We'll put them out of their misery. They don't have to pay for game 7.
That's good.
Focus.
Wow. What's worse? Being up 3-1 and getting to game 7 or being 2-0 and then losing 4 straight?
No. Well, it depends, because if you win that game,
Do you win the game 7 or you lose the game 7?
Because that was the Panthers.
Oh, that's true. I mean, but even getting to game 7.
The Panthers going, I mean, yeah, the Panthers blopping. Oh, listen, dude, I had that feeling when Derek White had the putback.
That was not good.
4 straight hurts, man. Like, because you couldn't win 1 out of 4.
Nope.
At least get it to a game 7.
The thing was though, man, like even with them down 2-0, like I really had felt like the Panthers only played like one bad period.
Right.
There were periods where like I thought the Leafs and them played pretty equal. But really since the first period of this series, I really haven't felt like the Panthers have been like pushed around very much. Maybe a little bit in the third period of game 2 where like they couldn't break through. But
yeah, but they didn't play well at the start of game 3.
Yeah, I guess.
Because they were what? They were down 3-1.
They were, but they came back to the lead.
That's what I'm saying, though. So it was not only the first 6 quarters, but some of that third game where like we were like, what is going on? Especially when Toronto got the lead.
Yeah. That's all.
I don't like yours. No, it's his.
So you gotta go because you gotta make the sphincter.
All right. That's great.
I don't even know what to say at this point.
But it's more of a
kind of weird.
It's kind of like you guys are like bringing the air into the balloon, and I feel like when that happens, like
the
this,
air's gone.
See, yours would be like if you're watching a baseball game and like a pitcher starts loading the bases, and you're like slowly. But when that first goal goes, it's right up there.
Yeah. That's that. You thought it was a fart. It's not a fart. Gotta close the doors.
Oh, let's class it up around here, all right?
Yeah.
You know, Alex Donno, as prepared as they come when it comes to talking Miami Hurricanes, and they're
The Italian stallion.
The Italian stallion. And as one to get all the information of people being pissed off at the Miami Hurricanes, let Donno set the record straight for you all. If you missed him earlier, he joins us next.
Big win.
So we turn to an expert, a man who hosts the Locked On Canes podcast. You can hear him here on WQAM on the Canes postgame show. He is Alex Donno, a Canes lifer, joining us on the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com. Donno, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, Tobin, and I'm also petty. You and I have a lot in common in that area, so seeing Jimmy bounce brought a smile to my face, and seeing the Florida Panthers not only beat Toronto last night, but they took their souls. Like, the Maple Leafs were completely lifeless throughout that entire game, and man, 6-1. I hope we beat those fools 8-0 tomorrow night in the elimination game.
Well, Donno, it could have been 6-0 the game beforehand. Yeah. I mean, they just got some stellar goalie play. So that's kind of what happened. And there's a reason why he's your backup goalie. Let's be clear that he has moments, but he's not going to play on a consistent basis night in and night out.
Yeah, no, that's true. And hopefully he's so shell-shocked after giving up 6 goals the other night that he'll give up 36 next time.
So, Donno, we're very excited this week. Your boots on the ground with everything with the Canes and all that. Jackson Cantwell, top recruit. I'm following your Twitter account as this is all going, and I can't believe the belly aching that is going on because the Miami Hurricanes landed a good player. Can you take us a little bit into the drama of this? The Canes land this stud, and like all hell breaks loose with other team fan bases whining because the Miami Hurricanes got him.
Yeah, I mean, in Miami, as other schools have, but Miami has been recruiting Jackson Cantwell literally for over a year, if not multiple years. So it's not as if, they woke up a couple days ago or a couple months ago and said, okay, we need to have this guy. Let's offer him a few million or something like that. So, and there were times, even a month ago when people thought, hey, Miami is the prohibitive favorite to land Cantwell, who's a behemoth offensive tackle, 6'8", 325 pounds. He's the top player in the class of 2026. And so like there was a time about a month ago when it looked like this is going to be a Miami player, right? But then, as things often do when you follow recruiting for high school kids, the trends seem to be changing, right? There was a time, it looks like Oregon's the favorite. And then for a couple weeks before his actual announcement, it looked like Georgia was the big favorite. But then like a couple hours before he announced, he started to get the leaks that, hey, it's probably going to be Miami. And he did indeed choose Miami. And so it's one of these belly aches that have become, and complaints that have become more and more common in this day and age in college football. And you especially hear this a lot from SEC fans. And it's ironic because NIL was kind of a thing in the SEC before it was legal. And now that the level, that the playing field has been leveled a little bit, they don't seem to like it. The teams can legally drop bags to land players. And so, yeah, from the moment Jackson Cantwell picked Miami, there became an argument very loud from the Georgia fans and from certain national media members. The narrative became, well, he clearly picked Miami for the money, that this was a money move. He chose the bag. And Tobin and Leroy, I'm not saying Miami didn't give him a great monetary offer. I'm sure they did. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because when it's legal, you pay what you can to get the best possible players to your program. But I can also tell you, with what I know about Jackson Cantwell, this guy is not going to make a decision strictly based on that, the relationships he's been developing for months, if not years, with Mario Cristobal and Alex Mirabal. And he was going to be a millionaire wherever he went, right? So he decided to take the proven offensive line coaching, the comfort level he had with Miami, who he had mentioned throughout his process. He didn't hear from anybody more than he heard from Mario Cristobal, head coach, who's kind of your second offensive line coach, and Alex Mirabal, the offensive line coach. And I guess it didn't help that On3 Sports published a story late last week where they mentioned, Miami, we heard, is offering him, $2 million or north of $2 million. They didn't mention any numbers for any other school. So it already kind of planted that money narrative. And so I think the problem that people on the Miami side have with this narrative, and the problem that Jackson Cantwell should have with this narrative, is anytime Miami lands a big time player, they always throw out there, look at this big NIL offer. It's all about money, money, money when Miami lands a player. Had had Oregon, who also bought Oregon is probably the biggest NIL spender, by the way, or Georgia landed him, it would have been, oh, he chose this great program. He's going to play for Kirby Smart or Dan Lanning. So I think that's the issue people have is anytime Miami lands somebody, it's all about money. And then the last thing I'll say before I'll let you ask me another question, I've been ranting and raving for a while here, but the last thing I'll say on this is if you're going to bring up this narrative that Jackson Cantwell would only choose Miami for an NIL offer, I could at least halfway entertain that argument if this guy played any other position. But you're talking about an offensive lineman who wants to be developed by the guys who developed Penei Sewell and the guys who are currently developing CeCe Maui Noah, who has a chance to be a first-round draft pick next year. If he played any other position, I could at least allow you to carry on this money narrative. But for an offensive lineman who says he sees himself best fitting in Miami, I don't know why you would argue that considering the type of O-line coaching Miami has.
I can tell you why, Donno. And here's what it is with the SEC. For so long, Alabama, Georgia, Clemson could sit at a kid's table and put their rings on the table, right? And say that what you're getting when you come here are all these excellent things, right? But keep in mind, when Nick Saban left, he said, we don't have enough money. They have it. They're just not putting it out there. And now you have these other schools that are saying, oh, we acknowledge your rings and we can't use that. How about an extra mil? And they have a problem with that because for so long, their dominance over the sport was, I'm going to just put my rings on the table. And now they can't do that. Now you can't go in to a kid's house and only talk about your storied franchise or your storied history. Because to be honest with you, kids don't give a damn about that.
Yeah.
And they have a problem with that. That's why more schools like LSU, who have a good program, but they can't be throwing it around like Alabama or Clemson or Georgia, right? You have schools like Ole Miss throwing money at it, right? So it's not just Miami, but it fits because it's one of the guys they thought they were going to get.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on with that. And, I know it's something that Cantwell talked about. He even actually, which I thought was kind of saucy on his part, he was doing some interviews right after he made his announcement. And he even he brought up Pete Nakos of On3 by name. He called him out because that was someone who wrote an article late last week who was like, oh, well, Miami's offering him $2 million. And he says players often commit to Georgia for the Georgia discount. It's so noble to go to Georgia for less money. So it's yeah, I don't know how much money Georgia offered. I don't even know how much money Miami offered. It's all rumors and hearsay, right? Because they don't publish the NIL numbers. But so if Georgia, hypothetically, because a lot of Georgia fans are saying this, if Georgia offered Jackson Cantwell literally half of what Miami offered, you're really going to shame the young man for choosing to make double the money at a place where he knows he can get developed. It's I mean, Leroy, if you were a free agent in the job market and you were offered $500,000 to do one job and then a full $1 at the other, and you were going to be happy at either spot, should they shame you for choosing to make the $1 million over the $500,000? I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous.
That's the thing I'm talking about, Donno. They're sitting here talking oh, how dare you turn down Georgia no matter what we offer you? It's Georgia, right?
Is it true, Donno? Is it true they knocked him down the rankings after this happened? That's that's the thing that people did.
Well, here's the thing, man, and I had some because factually, yes, that did happen, Tobin. To be fair, because I upset some people when I was angrily tweeting about this last night. He was, yes, they updated the 24/7 Sports recruiting rankings yesterday, the day after Cantwell committed, and he dropped, I guess he was number 3 overall on that service, and they dropped him from 3 to 10. And I don't think anything's changed. He hasn't played football in 5 or 6 months, so I don't know how they just decide to drop him. But I was ranting about it, and I was told, and I'm going to assume this is factually correct, that they actually filed this change. It just didn't come into effect till yesterday. This change was filed several days before he committed. So even if he had committed to Georgia or Oregon, he still would have dropped 7 spots. Now, obviously,
sounds convenient.
I got my tinfoil hat with me because it is convenient. Because I got this us against the world mentality when it comes to Miami. Like, it's very convenient how every time Miami lands a 5-star player, they knock him down a peg. But supposedly this one is just an awful coincidence.
All right. If they say so. Well, here's another one that got kind of crazy this summer because it was cool. We saw Carson Beck starting to throw, so that's good news. So, but like he signs with the Canes naturally after they get the number 1 quarterback drafted. Another crazy decision that he would make. But then all of a sudden, everybody's belly aching about how much the Canes paid him, and they're like, "Oh, he ruined the market for everybody. Tennessee's quarterback is leaving," and I'm like, "How in God's name is that the Canes' fault?" I'm trying to figure this stuff out, Donno.
I mean, because again, people the same way. Back to Leroy's point, like people just cannot believe a player would choose Miami over Georgia. Carson Beck already did that. And I know like there's a lot of narrative changing happening in Athens where Georgia fans will say, "Oh, this guy, he sucks. We never actually wanted him to play for us again. He's terrible. Gunnar Stockton, that's the truth. Carson Beck, old damaged goods. We don't want him here." That's the narrative there now. My understanding is like
they didn't want him.
Not, including Kirby Smart did not want him to leave. Like Kirby Smart did not want Beck to leave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my understanding. And but again, whether they wanted him to leave or not, the idea of going from Georgia to Miami, people can't believe it. They can't fathom it. And then you throw in the NIL, the alleged NIL money as well. And yeah, listen, as far as Carson Beck goes, it's just unfortunate him coming off of that injury. He's healthy now, but with him coming off of the elbow injury, he wasn't able to participate in spring football fully. Like he was out there, he just wasn't able to throw, which is a pretty big part of what he does, but he was out there working and stuff. But I've seen him throw in person. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet because he hasn't been available to the media because he was injured. But he is throwing now. He's been cleared to throw for the past several weeks. And my understanding, I've heard that they're going to start having the player run practices on Monday. So he's going to be able to be throwing with his teammates in the next couple of days. And, Cam Ward is special and irreplaceable, but I think Miami going out and getting somebody like Carson Beck with his experience level, his proven production on the field, I think is a really good move. And, I don't necessarily think Miami's going to have the number 1 offense in the country again, but if the defense is no longer embarrassing,
I was gonna follow up with that, Donald.
Yeah.
Like, give us a big picture, your thoughts before we even get to camp. Do you feel like it's fixed? Because man, that was so frustrating by the end of last year to be spotted a 21-0 lead and feel like you have no hope. Do you feel like they've done enough, hopefully, to plug some of this up?
I mean, I don't know how much else they could have done, like in terms of offseason moves, right? I mean, they changed defensive coordinators because it was clearly not working under Lance Guidry last year. I like the guy that they hired, Corey Heatherman, who kind of worked a miracle in Minnesota last year. They were 69th in total defense before he took over. Then he got them into the top 10 in just 1 year last year. And a lot more aggressive and a lot more direct, like his defensive philosophy. The players seem to like it. Miami's players who were, learning the system during spring football. So I think the defensive scheme is going to suit them better. So that's one thing. And then, Miami went wild in the transfer portal when it came to trying to bring in new players. Like the only position group that they just weren't able to get too much in because there wasn't a lot of quality available is defensive tackle. They did get one pretty good player back in the first transfer portal window, David Blay from Louisiana Tech, who had a couple good seasons there and had a good spring with Miami. But so many new faces in the defensive secondary. And I think Xavier Lucas from Wisconsin, a cornerback, Zechariah Poyser, a safety from Jacksonville State, who was a stud there the last couple of years. And I also like the safety from Tennessee, Jacoby Thomas, that they brought in, and Keontae Scott, a nickel from Houston. And a lot of the players they're bringing in were coached in previous spots by Miami defensive coaches, like where they were before. including, I think one of the guys who could make a really big impact is linebacker Mohamed Toure from Rutgers, who was coached because Corey Heatherman, who's the new DC 2 years ago, he was the linebackers coach at Rutgers, and Toure had his best season then under Heatherman. So honestly, if the defense isn't like dramatically better, and you don't set a very high bar from last year, but if they're not dramatically better than where they were last year, I think you have to start feeling like, hey, we're cursed, and Mario just can't find the right defensive coordinator, because they've done about all they possibly can to go out there and make that defense. I don't know if they're going to be top 10 necessarily, but if you have a top 25 defense and then maybe a top 25 offense this year, I think they could end up having more success on the field.
Hey, so Donno, let me ask you this, because I think a lot of people are the offense is going to look different because Carson Beck is not Cam Ward. But is it going to be different because Carson Beck isn't as good, or is it going to be different because Carson Beck plays the position differently and it's going to probably take a little bit of time to for the team to find his sweet spot?
All the above. And also, it's going to look different because his weapons are a lot different from what Ward had. Something that Cam Ward had the benefit of last year was a more experienced receiver core. Now, Miami has a couple of experienced guys, but they brought him in as transfers, like C.J. Daniels and Keelan Marion and Tony Johnson, like the ones who are returning from last year. Jojo Trader, who I think has a potential to blow up this year, but he was a true freshman last year who didn't play a whole lot. But he's a former, blue chip guy out of high school. Elijah Lofton, the tight end, is going to, try to kind of do what Elijah Arroyo did last year. He's a different player. He's more of like a Swiss Army knife type of guy, but really productive. So I think, and again, like all the reasons you stated, I think are why the offense is going to look different. But then another one is it's Miami's offense. I don't believe is going to be nearly as pass heavy, but part of that I believe is going to come from assuming your defense is better. You're not going to be in shootouts every week, because that was a thing last year. And, Miami had the perfect shootout guy. It was like having Wild Bill Hickok or something in Cam Ward, because you spot that guy a 21-point deficit and say, Ward, we got to throw every down from here on out. Giddy up. Like he was built for that. But if you can actually play with some leads this year, you can get your running game a little bit more involved, because like Miami's running game last year, it was really good. But they didn't have the opportunity to reach their full potential, because I look there's a disconnect here, because Miami was number 6 in the country in yards per carry, but they were 31st overall in rushing. So like the yards per carry being almost top 5 didn't really match up with your overall running game not being in the top 25. And it's because they didn't have an opportunity to run the ball as much as they would like to. So I think that's going to be a part of it as well. And actually one of the transfers that I'm really excited about that Miami brought in is a running back who played at North Dakota State, Chamar Brown. Now, North Dakota State, I know it's in the FCS, but that's like the Alabama Crimson Tide of the FCS. They win the championship every year. And they had a guy drafted in the first round of the NFL this year. So it's a different level of FCS program. And this dude, Marty Brown, they call him Marty, had 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns last year. He helped them win the FCS national championship. So I think he's going to be great in a rotation with Mark Fletcher and Jordan Lyle. So I think Miami probably by design, and this is not to take anything away from Carson Beck, because he just wants to win in any context, but be able to run the football a little bit more. And, if your weapons like in the receiving game are not as dynamic as what Ward had last year, I think Miami can make up for some of that with the running game.
It's Alex Donno. Go check out the Locked On Canes podcast, as in-depth as you can get with your Miami Hurricanes. He bleeds orange and green. Donno, thanks so much for the time, man. Really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Go Panthers.